High snap, play action, Nichols underneath, caught, gets away from one tackler, gets away from two tacklers, down the sidelines, one man to beat, stutter step, getting away to the end zone, number 8, Dylan Talley, touchdown, Bowie.
Robertson in motion, Craven's back to pass, goes across the middle, Ghosted, holds it in, he's gonna go to the touchdown, to the house, Cravens to Ghosted, Colt, touchdown!
As a tight end, pulls a guard, Bauer finds the hole, follows the pulling guard, cuts outside, bounces outside to the 20, 10, 15, 5, touchdown, Bowers, touchdown, Bowie!
And folks, we have history at Haltom. Danny Bustamante has just pitched a no-hit, no-run, no-walk shutout. A perfect game for Danny Bustamante.
Rios looks at Alvarado and turns home. It's going to that left field gap. That's a base hit. Here comes Axel Alvarado. The Colts are going to take the lead in the top of the 7th on the base hit by Gannon Howard. Burkle out of position. They've got to pass, and they've got to go! Patomeco with the pass. Mirario has a bit of a look. Shot on goal, and he gets it in! Two tight end set here as we go to the left-hand side with B.J. Rogers. Rogers is into the second level. B.J. Rogers to midfield. One man trying to catch up to him, but he will not. Number 6 in for 6. That will do it.
This broadcast is under intellectual property and may not be repurposed or reproduced without express written consent. Enjoy this presentation from Zach Arnold Productions. Energetic Media Solutions.
Good evening, baseball fans. A critical game number 2 is on deck as the Arlington Colts look to find a way to force game number 3 in this by-district series against the Pearce Mustangs. We're coming to you live from J.J. Pearce High School in Richardson, Texas for game number 2 of this series. The pregame show presented by Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is coming up right after this break. John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
Are you a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage? Or perhaps you're navigating the complexities of Medicare? Look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent insurance agency with over 50 years of experience with tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need home and auto, business insurance, or individual or group medical, Chapman Cornelius has knowledgeable agents who will help you select just what you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott at 817-265-3346.
The pregame show is presented by Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services, Inc., a family-owned business with a team of professionals who have been serving the Arlington area for over 50 years. Don't let insurance be a headache. Chapman Cornelius can help you create a custom insurance plan tailored to your small business's needs and budget. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott at 817-265-3346 or go to www.chapman-cornelius.com. We've had almost 24 hours to stew on game number 1 that took place over at Colt Field. And in moments like this, you have to have a short memory and go back out there and play your hardest again the very next day. That's the way that the nature of playoffs can be. And Arlington's out there taking their warm-up cuts with Coach Brian Womack right now. And right now on the broadcast is myself, Zach Arnold, and my partner, Jot Holly. Jot, we witnessed a lot of craziness last night. Some really solid pitching from both starting pitchers, combining for 13 strikeouts. But then we also saw some timely hitting and then an unfortunate error that ended up providing the final margin of 4-3 in favor of Pearce last night.
Yeah, we got a good dose of what we would call playoff baseball type of atmosphere last night. First, I want to thank all the crowd that came out for the Arlington Colts. As an alumni, it was great to see all the green and white out in the stands supporting their school, supporting their team. For the timely hitting, let's hit that first. The Colts were out hit last night 8-3. And
Yeah.
that's not playoff hitting right there. That is a team that's looking to go home. So you want to first come out and get the bats ready. You managed to get hit 3 times by pitches. You managed to get walked a few other times. So you worked your way on base, but you can't strike out 7 times, and you've got to get more than 3 hits if you want to win. When it comes to the pitching, Bustamante pitched a great game last night. Yeah, there are some situations that he could have probably pitched out of. The defense helped him with 2 double plays, especially a big throw on a double play from Carnal out in right field. But at the end of the day, it's just the old school saying, alignment, assignment, and attention to detail.
Yep.
And the error in the 7th inning is part of that. It's the alignment of where you need to be when the ball is up in the air. It's the assignment of knowing who's going to catch it. And it's the attention to detail of make sure I look this ball into my glove for the out at that point in time. Similar situation to the Martin game 2 weeks ago at this point. And last week, the 1-0 loss.
Yep.
You have to do a better job of following all the things that you were taught throughout the season, or else you're going home tonight.
They're working on those fundamentals out there on the field right now. It's an all-turf facility here at J.J. Pearce, a very intimate venue with the stands very, very close to the backstop, a very short backstop, only about 2, maybe 3 feet high, and only about 10 to 15 feet behind home plate. So the crowd gets right up on the backstop there. I see some pop-up tables with family members and fans that are as close to the action as they might have been over at Colt Field last night. The unique aspect of this ballpark, the PA booth is above the home dugout. It's like a little watchtower of sorts, and no press box behind home plate. So the NFHS network has the rights to the video stream again this evening. They are up at the top of the tallest grandstands behind home plate, and they're using the same type of pop-up canopy that we are. They're just operating a video camera tonight. Fans, a reminder that due to UIL restrictions, playoff broadcasts for ZAP are limited to audio only, but we're going to be providing you as much detailed audio-style, radio-style coverage as we possibly can to make you feel like you're here at the ballpark with us. Arlington occupies the first base dugout this evening as Pearce, the home team, occupies third base. And I'm going to circle back to that PA booth, Jod. It looks like you can only hold maybe 2-3 people at the most up there. I've seen towers like this in like computer games that I used to play. Did you ever play Age of Empires back in the day on the PC from Microsoft?
I've never played Age of Empires. It looks more like a deer hunting tower.
Yes,
for deer
a deer blind. I
Yeah.
can see that. Yeah, I never went hunting, so I had to default to my nerd side. But yes, it looks like a deer blind with the retractable walls along facing home plate and then facing the field so that you can see substitutions that take place and call names in the lineup and such. But aside from that, it's a very nice venue. The scoreboard is well lit and well decorated out there in left field. It's a very high fence line starting in center field and working its way all the way to the left. The only short fence is along the right field line here. Everything else roughly 15 feet high, I would say.
About 10 to 15 feet. It's much higher, obviously, than what you see in Arlington. None of the Arlington schools have a fence like this. The closest relation, I guess, for those that had a chance to see the Nimitz field during some of the tournament play, especially for the Bowie games, they have a high fence like this. Dallas Jesuit just as well without the extra netting. So it's a very, very high area out here. High wall.
And they have some sponsors out here at J.J. Pearce. The foul poles along first and third are the Raising Cane's FOWL pole, foul pole. But we do not have dimensions here at the ballpark. Their indoor training facility is just over the left field fence. Some of their other track and field training facility equipment is over the right field fence. They have a outdoor practice field that is in straightaway center. And the other interesting thing is this fence is semi-see-through. So it's not a true blind out there in straightaway center like you would see in other places. This one does have some visibility to it, but there's not a whole lot going on out there, so I don't think it'll play a factor in the ball game.
It shouldn't play a factor if nobody's really looking out that far. If you're looking that far instead of looking at the ball coming towards you if you're the batter, then your mind and your eye are in two different places. I mean, it's an interesting fence to have, but it's nothing better than what we have in center field in Arlington with that 425. Nothing that sticks out to you as a baseball baseball person, baseball lover. Nothing about this fence says, yeah, I want to have a fence like that at any of their Arlington schools.
Correct.
And then if you have guys like Cifuentes who almost hit that home run last night, a wall like this, you're not getting anywhere close. You might be banking off a double.
You're probably collecting a double. That is true. But it would have to go pretty high up in order to go over the fence here.
I will say, I guess maybe the closest one I can think of, more of a similar type of style is South Grand Prairie.
South Grand Prairie does kind of have a staggered height, but it goes more like a staircase where it starts shorter on the right, gets a little bit higher in center, and then gets a little bit higher than that over in left. This one is pretty much the same height all the way until you get to where the right fielder plays out there in deep right. But it's all turf and a semicircle of a backstop instead of one that's squared off, so it's very rounded. And I saw Coach Womack and the battery, including Axel Alvarado, testing what kind of caroms the padding on this backstop has, just in case of a wild pitch. How do you play it? How do you anticipate it? And that was a big part of Arlington's defense last night in Game 1, was Axel being able to play the carom on a wild pitch and be able to make the tag at home to preserve a run from scoring.
Yeah, it's staggered differently than how Arlington's is, as Arlington's the backstop is the home plate is kind of staggered compared to the center of the backstop where it rounds off. They still have similar type of breaking as well, that thick type of break behind it. But that pad, like you said, having that pad bounce off is not going to give you the same force bounce it back to you if you're the catcher, have to chase after it. It might hit it, it might bounce a different direction, or hits it and rolls. You got to be, if Axel's got to keep his head on a swivel and keeps his eyes open wherever it bounces off. But hopefully you want to avoid that. You don't want any wild pitches, any pass balls. Just let that situation stay out of your mind, but it's good for Coach Womack to prepare his team for it just in case.
You mentioned batting being something that was of concern in last night's ball game. Axel Alvarado collected an RBI. Corbin Quiros got a bases-loaded walk and an RBI. Danny Bustamante got a single to right field and an RBI. But there's a lot of offers in last night's lineup, and they're going to have to try to correct that if they want to force Game 3. Game 3 is tentatively scheduled for tomorrow evening against these Pearce Mustangs at the home of the Grand Prairie Gophers. But if Arlington wants to make Game 3, the leadoff man Colin Murphy cannot go 0 for 3. A.B. Alvarado cannot go 0 for 3. Cifuentes cannot go 0 for 2. There's a lot of goose eggs in last night's lineup that needs adjustment if they want to force Game 3.
Yeah, you got to do everything you can to get the force. And more than just going the 0 for 2, 0 for 3, you can't go down striking out. If you're going down striking out swinging, it's one thing. You're just behind on the ball. You're behind on the target. But it's another thing to go to 2 strikeouts, 3 strikeouts. It means you're not seeing the ball at all. You got to do a better job of getting the balls hit into field. If you had some balls grounded last night into the infield with the way the grass was, with it being wet, and then you playing on the dirt, you could have had some caroms out there that would have distracted the outfielder or the infielders and made it easier for you to get infield singles. On the other hand, you're playing on the speedy type of turf that if you don't hit the ball into the infield, you don't get anything on it, you might not get those base hits. It might not roll out fast enough. So you got to get contact on the ball first thing. You can't have 7 strikeouts. You got to have more than 3 hits if you want to win.
Here's an interesting thing, Jot, and I was speaking to both of the head coaches before the game this evening. Coach Rowland for Pearce mentioned to me that the only ground ball that Pearce had to field last night was Gannon Howard's bunt in the 7th inning. Everything else was contact to a position.
Well, there was one.
I'm looking at it, man.
There was one that if you look on the scoreboard, it counts as a strikeout on Gannon Howard in the 6th inning. but it was a ground ball up the middle.
It was a base hit.
It was
yeah.
a base hit that they called back.
But
on
as
the
far
time.
as groundouts are concerned, there was no 5-3, there was no 4-3, there was no 3 unassisted. Pretty much everything else, F8, F9, F9, F8, infield fly, I guess that might count of sorts, but that was still a pop-up up in the air. Foul out, an F7, an F7. A lot of the contact that was made was up in the air, and with the wind situation being what it is, it's cool, it's breezy, it's blowing from right to left right now from our vantage point. We had to put on our jackets because of how chilly it is. It's only going to get cooler as we develop deeper into the evening time. Sun is still up for the time being, but it won't be for long. And once it does, it's going to be cool, and it's going to be windy for the remainder of this second playoff game.
Yeah, don't tell my mom, the Michigander, that I'm putting a hoodie on because it's chilly out here. But that does play a factor into it. Having a cold night like that, especially when the ball's gonna hit the bat, you're gonna feel that sting a little bit differently in your hands.
It's almost May, dude, and this feels like March weather.
It's good weather for me, though. I mean, it's beautiful. Now, if you get this all year round, I'll be happy. Maybe take away some of the rain and throw some sun out there. Don't worry about the 100 degrees coming around the bend.
Man, I had to drive in the rainy weather today, and I went through the hills of Glenrose. You know some of that hill country that's out there along 67?
Yeah.
I had to drive through that to get to one of my stops for work today, and the rain and the mist and the fog made me feel like I was going through Hawaii, like some of those hilly regions on a cold, misty morning in Hawaii. My family went to Puerto Rico last summer, and I had some Puerto Rico vibes a little bit. There are some places in Texas that can feel somewhat tropical, but just wasn't expecting to feel it on April the 30th.
You know who would be really prepared for this would be Cameron. Cameron, one of our interns from TCC. He's a Detroit Lions fan. He's from Detroit, and he loves the weather like this. But also it brings him back to the time he'd tell us, it's a chilly day like this, put my Lions jacket on, and I'm good to go. So it's not people like that. Everybody to each his own.
The Arlington fans are bundled up a little bit to our right. We're actually positioned in the grandstands, just offset behind home plate. Pretty good vantage point with the tent above our heads, just in case that 30% rain comes down on top of our equipment. We'll do our best to try to keep all of that stuff safe. But it's a pretty good crowd, and a lot of them are occupying those grandstands directly behind home plate. I feel like we made the right call, Jot, in taking up something that wasn't where the home team usually likes to sit. We appreciate Pearce for their hospitality, giving us a spot to set up from and bring you every pitch, every moment of this critical game number 2. But I'm ready for baseball. The ironic thing is the umpires are not. We just got the announcement that the Blues aren't here. They're not dressed yet. And so we can't start baseball until we have the 4-man official crew. Wonder if they got stuck in traffic.
Let's mention that for a moment. Last night we had a big raucous crowd at Arlington High, and some of the officials and some of the fans had a little altercation, conversation.
There were some verbal jabs.
It's always good to cheer on your team, but make sure you do it in a nice, respectful way. At the same time, officials do get calls wrong. They need to live up to it. It's just a matter of the sport, and the sport being what it is. But we're all out here to do a job, and the officials are out here to do a job as well. So we respect them for doing their jobs. They are getting paid to do this. They are here so you can watch your teams and listen to your teams play baseball to continue their dream of playing high school baseball. Just make sure we all do it in a loving manner, both for the umpires and for the fans that are watching the games.
I heard through the grapevine that there were some verbal jabs that were issued at the umpires last night that could have warranted an ejection. They do have that leeway now to be able to eject anyone without warning at any given point, and that includes players, coaches, and fans. We're very fortunate that was not the case in last night's game, and we're hoping to continue that momentum again here tonight, and hopefully can continue it again tomorrow as well. But Arlington needs to win this ball game on the road. They come into this game with a 7-8 record in true away games. That includes when they served as the visitors at Gregory Portland and at Tulsa Midway during the Corpus Christi tournament. You have to account for those tournament games when you're the true road team at somebody else's ballpark. Those do count as away games. So, that loss at Birdville counted as an away loss during the tournament that you covered. But then the following game against Keller Central was a neutral ball game. So Arlington 7-8 in road games, 2-6 in neutral games as they try to force a neutral game tomorrow night.
Yeah, the last thing you'd want to do if you're Arlington Colt tonight is to go down on somebody else's turf. You want to do it in a site that you know respectfully. You don't want your lasting memory as a Colt to have a loss at home and then a loss on the road and to be swept out of the playoffs. You want to fight tonight. You want to continue your season for another night to get to Grand Prairie. You want to get to Grand Prairie in a neutral site that you know very well. And
very familiar.
And try to extend the series out. If you can get a win tonight, get a win tomorrow. Next thing you know, you get one more game back in Arlington next week, depending on if it's Prosper or it gets Marcus. But you want to get to that point. So you don't want to put the game in the umpire's hands. You want to make sure that everything is left on the field, that you have no doubts, no regrets, that this is your time. Everybody has their time. We've all been through high school at one point in time. We all have had our moments playing sports. This is your time. If you're a Colt, a lot of Colt faithful made the drive. Zach, you and me are both Colt faithful. We love this school. We love the city. But we want to see this team win tonight and get another chance to go play tomorrow at Grand Prairie.
You mentioned these seniors. There's a total of 14 seniors on this Arlington Colts roster, and I don't think any one of them want their final memory to be in a road game all the way up in Richardson. It took me an hour and 15 minutes to drive all the way up here to this city north of Dallas, and I'm hoping to make the hour 15 drive back to town with a smile on my face, as are the Colt faithful that came out. The officials are here. They are dressed. The coaches are meeting behind home plate, both of them in their 6th year at the helm. Pearce directed by head coach Justin Rowland. His assistants are Justin Whiteside, Wyatt Erickson, and Logan Hunt. Coach Brian Womack collected win number 100 earlier this season, and he's in his 6th season at the helm of the Colts. His assistants are David Barrientos, Christian Alvarez, and Travis Miller. Pearce is in their home cream jerseys this evening with blue ball caps and a red letter P on those caps with blue cursive Pearce across the chest. Arlington, I noticed this, Jot, is changing it up a little bit tonight with their road grays with green block lettering across the chest. They've worn those black jerseys with the pinstripes on the road a couple of times now and took one on the chin against Martin, took one on the chin against Grand Prairie in those uniforms. So Coach Womack said we haven't had a whole lot of luck in those jerseys, so we're switching it up here tonight.
Yeah, change of venue because you're in a new location that we haven't played in before. You go ahead and dust off the grays. The blacks haven't been working as of late, and now you want to get a win. And this grays you can carry on tomorrow and put on something different for that game tomorrow if we can get there.
Fans, as a reminder that due to UIL restrictions, this playoff broadcast on the Zap Network is limited to audio only. We appreciate you tuning in and supporting local business and local broadcasts for our radio-style play-by-play action tonight. We're excited to be here with you and excited to have you along for the ride. Coaches and umpires continuing to meet behind home plate. We are very, very close to first pitch, but we are definitely not going to be starting at the same time that we started in last night's game, 7:03 first pitch, and we are at 7:02 here this evening. Earth Stunt 2884 checking in the YouTube chat saying hello. Thank you for joining us this evening. Fans, a reminder that if you hit the subscribe button to the channel and wait a brief 10 minutes, you too can join the chat, and we'll try to give you a shout out during tonight's broadcast. We do monitor that chat. We do try to keep it active and engaging, and we're looking forward to engaging with you throughout the course of this evening's broadcast.
Yeah, fans, we want to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're almost there. It means a big deal for any YouTube channel to get to 1,000 subscribers, and it means a lot that we can do a lot more things. We already had a chance to get interns this year from UTA and TCC, and having that 1,000 subscribers, it means monetarily we can do a few different things going into next season for football and baseball to kind of help with the game stream, the audio, the video, things like that for next season going forward.
Some big things happening on the Zap Network as we incorporated some interns from TCC and UT Arlington over the course of some of these games. You heard Cam, the cameraman, putting on the headset this season. Chaz Melton, very much a regular for some of the games behind the scenes. And then we had Alex Corson on the call for one of our weekend games in its entirety. So it's been cool to see the growth of the program, and looking forward to continuing that growth over the course of the upcoming football season when they switch districts. Our postseason opponents will be a little bit different. We won't be playing these guys like Pearce or Richardson or Jesuit moving forward. We'll be in District 3-6A and playing the likes of Aledo and Weatherford and Granbury for district competition. And who knows what the other region will look like once we start looking at postseason play there.
I just hope that gas is not $4.50 by that point.
It probably will be. we'll be needing to get some more support from our sponsors to be able to cover gas for the people that go out to those games. Arlington's starting lineup has been introduced. They're getting ready to bring in the Pearce Mustangs out of the third base dugout. And we're just a few moments away from playoff baseball in Richardson, Texas, not Arlington, Texas. Arlington on the road, hoping to force Game 3. Special thanks again to our friends at Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services, Inc. for presenting the pregame show for all of our games this season. Fans, if you find yourself in need of selecting insurance for yourself or for your business, be sure to call 817-265-3346 or go to www.chapman-cornelius.com. The reserves have been introduced now for the Pearce Mustangs. There's a student section out there by their tunnel. Pretty cool to see some of the student body making their way out to the ball game tonight. School spirit is always a very important thing, and it's nice to see that it's not just a bunch of parents and grandparents that are coming out to the ball game, but there's some students that are invested in tonight's game as well.
And this is educational too, as every student here has a nickname that has some type of history related to it. Lincoln Boyles was Lincoln Gettysburg Address Boyles, as he was introduced by the PA man here. So I guess a little history in each player's name, maybe a favorite category or something like to study in school. It seems educational.
I mean, you know, it's okay when the PA announcer is able to say things like, "What are you going to do with a name like Dingle?" Because there were plenty of times that we could have made a joke last night, but it would have been a little bit too unprofessional of us. But it's fine when all we're doing is repeating the PA announcer.
We like to be professional around here, folks, as we get ready for that national anthem on the other. Let's get ready to come up here, Zach.
Yeah, it's time. Copy the link, hit that share button. We're going to take a break for the national anthem, and then it is baseball time in Richardson, Texas. We'll be back after this.
Fighting men and women here and abroad. Please stand if you're able and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Anthem has concluded. Players have taken the field. We've got our headsets, our jackets, and I've got my Red Bull, and it is playoff baseball time in Richardson, Texas. Let's start with the defensive alignment for the home team. The J.J. Pearce Mustangs took the win 4-3 last night to improve their record to 17-15 on the year out of District 7-6A. At first base, it's Hernandez. At second base, it's Kinder. At third base, it's Hornberger. At shortstop, it's Boyles. Roberts is in left field. Henkel is in center field. Dingle is in right. Brody Ross will get the start behind the plate, and on the mound, the left-handed throwing sophomore, number 19, Noah Joseph. Joseph on the mound for the Mustangs. Starting lineup for the Arlington Colts, leading off and playing second base, number 6, Colin Murphy. Batting second and playing center field, number 2, Gannon Howard. Batting third and catching, number 5, Axel Alvarado. Batting cleanup and playing third base, number 20, A.B. Alvarado. Batting fifth and playing right field, number 17, Payne Kernal. Batting sixth and playing first base, number 26, Noah Cifuentes. Batting seventh and playing shortstop, number 4, Danny Bustamante. Batting eighth, the designated hitter, number 24, Corbin Quiros. Quiros, the DH for the starting pitcher, Buchel, tonight. And rounding out the order, it's the left fielder, number 9, Cannon Cambron. Cambron rounding out the order for the Arlington Colts. Wind is blowing from right field to left on this cloudy and gradually chilling off evening for baseball. But as long as the rain stays away, we'll be happy. Alongside my partner, Jod Holly, I'm Zach Arnold, bringing you this district-by-district ball game. Game 2 of the series, as Arlington has a must-win situation to force Game 3 in this series. Fans, as we open up this ball game, we remind you to open up your home to new possibilities with Modern West Windows and Doors. First pitch is a called strike at the knees to Colin Murphy, and we are officially underway. 7:10 p.m. first pitch. The side step and the chopper foul will make it an 0-2 count out the gate here for Colin Murphy.
Yeah, with a lefty on the mound here, you have a lot of righties in the Colt lineup. Murphy needs to get things started. You don't want to leave the game up to the umpires, up to the pitching. Go ahead and get things started with yourself at the bat.
He'll put this one in play. It's a grounder on the backhand to the shortstop Boyles. A long throw, but it's in time to Hernandez. And it's a 6-3 putout to start the ball game. Aside from the bunt attempt, we mentioned it during the pregame show, aside from Gannon Howard's bunt attempt in the 7th, there weren't very many ground balls that the Pearce defense had to field. And Arlington changes that on the very first batter of the ball game here in the top of the first.
That's a positive. That means that you came out with the intention of we're going to swing. We're not going to wait to see what he throws. We're going to swing at something.
Gannon Howard's going to check his swing on this one, and it's going to tap off the end of his bat and go off of the padding in the backstop, kind of in our direction. Probably ended up about 6 or 7 feet away from where we're positioned in the grandstands.
Hopefully nothing comes through the netting, Zach.
Oh, I don't know if I have reflexes fast enough for that.
I don't have a glove on me anymore.
It's an 0-1, and that off-speed pitch can't find the zone. It's going to be ball number 1 to the center fielder.
You know, like we said last night when the reliever came in Boone for Pearce, momentum doesn't care how old you are. Momentum will swing no matter which way, left or right, and it doesn't care about anything else. So you want to get out there and get the momentum and keep it.
That one is too low, says the umpire, and that is going to be ball number 2. Looked like it might have crossed the knees from where we're sitting, but we will take the 2-1 count any chance we can get. Quick 2-1 delivery. Howard's going to put this one in play. It's to the gap, backhanded and through the glove of the shortstop Boyles. It's going to trickle into left field, and it's a 1-out single to left for Gannon Howard.
There you go. That's how you. Gannon had a good night last night, minus the strikeout after the
controversial timeout.
The controversial timeout, which we found out now. Apparently, you can call a timeout from third base. But Gannon had a good night last night. He's continuing it, and you're making the shortstop work early. Last night he kind of sat around. He has the back-to-back plays already.
And now Joseph will have to pitch out of the stretch. Axel's going to put this one in play to left field. Another backhand by Boyles. Long throw to first, and it's going to be wide, and everybody is safe. back-to-back singles to the shortstop area for the Colt offense, and there's 2 men aboard with 1 out.
You're making that shortstop work early. Boyles has had 3 straight balls hit to him. First one was hit to him in his direction. The other 2 he had to run to his right to get. So you're seeing something already as we have a pinch runner for Axel. I can't see who that is, Zach.
Let me see if I can take a look here.
2, 4, 5.
Third baseman Abraham Alvarado.
As soon as my vision adjusts. That's 8, Jacob Frias.
Frias
running at first now for Axel. A.B. Alvarado is going to be coming to the plate. First baseman Hernandez is playing straight away defensively. Nobody covering Frias at first. Howard taking a modest lead off of second as that one is going to bounce into the glove of Brody Ross for ball number 1 to A.B.
What you want to do, you want to help your starting pitcher out, Bouchel, who's a good pitcher. He had a good ERA already this season. You want to help him out and try to get on the scoreboard here in the top of the first.
Too far inside, and it's a 2-0 count to A.B.
A.B.'s got a good play vision up there so far. He has two balls already on him. Let's see if he can get a ball to hit here on a 2-0.
Here's the delivery, and it's too low, but it bounces off of the glove and in front of the catcher, Ross. And now the Colts are 1 pitch away from loading the bases.
As we load the bleachers here too, Colt fans
it's a packed bleacher section tonight.
As an alumni, I am loving this.
The 3-0 delivery right down the pipe for a called strike 1 off of the arm of Noah Joseph. Howard will retreat to second. Frias returns to first. Payne Kernal in the on-deck circle for Arlington.
And that's all right, AB. You take that 3-1, you take the 3-0, get the strike. Now let's see if he can throw something outside and try to get the ball 4.
It's low and inside, and the bases are loaded early for the Colts.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. That's beautiful right there. Great at bat there. 5 pitches already on first base. Bases loaded, and you got House of Pain going to jump around here if we can get a base hit.
Donna Nipper tuning in the chat, as is Pops tuning in from back home. Thank you both for tuning in. Copy the link, hit the share button, send it to your group chat. The Colts are making some noise here in the top of the first inning. First pitch to Kernal. He's going to put this on a frozen rope down the left field line, and it's going to go foul.
That ball had carry to it, too. It was too far out. He pulled it too much.
Yeah.
But left fielder had to give a good chase. I don't know if that ball is more hit down the line. Left fielder's too far towards center to try to chase it down for an out.
If he straightens that out, Roberts is going to take a long trot to try to catch up to it.
We can't tell how far it is down the left field line from here. It looks like it's 310.
Kernal will foul this one into the backstop, and it's now 0-2.
High backstop here.
Very
much
high. Almost 3, probably 4 stories high. It goes very, very high in order to make sure it doesn't go into the parking lot that is directly behind us.
One thing when we pulled up, I parked farther away from you just to make sure
just
that I
a
don't get
smidge.
hit.
0-2 to Kernal. The lefty fires. And he's going to foul it off the top part of his bat between home plate and the first base on deck circle. Cifuentes will retrieve it and give it to the home plate umpire. And will come back for an 0-2 count with 1 out.
Now, I know it's an 0-2 early, but it's a good at-bat for Kernal. He's had contact on all 3 pitches thrown at him.
Another 0-2. And he makes contact again, and again it gets fouled off. This one going to end up in the Arlington dugout along the first baseline.
And you'll take that here, even if it's an 0-2 count. He's only thrown 4 pitches this at bat, but Kernal has gotten his bat on every single pitch thrown to him so far. So he's looking for something, and he's making some good contact, even if they're all hit foul.
Another 0-2, and that one is too low. He throws up the stop sign as Ross is able to keep it close to him. Howard 90 feet away from plating the first run of the ballgame. Frias is at second. AB is at first. Joseph's 1-2 pitch now. Just a bit outside, and you can hear the Pearce crowd disagreeing with that call, but Kernal makes it 2-2.
A little turnabout being fair play as we saw last night.
The 2-2 on its way. And he's going to put this back into center field, and it is a diving grab by the center fielder, and they get the double play. Not only does Hinkle dive forward to make the grab, but the runner between second and third, Frias, was too far away. So Hinkle gets it to second. They get the double play, and Pearce is left out of the inning, avoiding that bases loaded jam with one out. Arlington got close, but not close enough as we head to the bottom of the first. It's the Colts nothing, and the Mustangs coming up to the plate here on the Zap Network, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Whenever a plumbing problem hits your home, experience matters. Pipe and Peak is a family-owned residential plumbing company with 16 years of experience that you can trust. They handle everything from yard leaks and slab leaks to tunnel work, and they're specialists in replacing old cast iron pipe. No job is too big or too small, and their pricing stays competitive. If you're seeing signs of aging pipes, now's the time to act. Send an email to Caleb Renfro to see how Pipe and Peak can help your home. When your high school field needs to look game ready, trust John Kling and the pros at Field Ops North Texas. This veteran-owned team delivers fast turnaround and long-lasting field striping for football, soccer, lacrosse, and more, using professional-grade paint and equipment. Field Ops proudly serves schools and communities across North Texas, helping student-athletes compete on fields that look as good as they play. Get a free quote today by visiting gofieldops.com/north-texas.
Bottom of the first inning about to get underway. Jacob Frias thought it was going to be a base hit, and instead it was a diving grab by the center fielder, Henkel. He threw it back to the second base bag, and the Mustangs got a double play to get out of the inning. It was good to see Arlington get some momentum on the base paths, but you got to convert when you've got the bases loaded with one out.
You got to convert. I mean, that's just an unfortunate turn of events there for Frias. You got to keep your head on a swivel, though, too, because that ball, it looked like a base hit, but you're the guy on the base path, and this is a kind of reoccurring thing the last few weeks, especially with the Martin game that we saw, too. You got to keep your head on a swivel, and there's no excuse not to be paying attention when you're the closest guy to the center fielder on that diving catch. But it helped out for Rich. It worked out for Richardson and Pearce. One positive at the top of the first before you go through the lineup, Zach. You got 2 hits. All of yesterday you had 3. So you loaded the bases off 2 hits and a walk, so you have something that you built on from last night.
It's a good start, but you got to have some run production to help out this starting pitcher tonight in the form of Brendan Buechele. His defense around the horn behind him. At first base, it's Noah Cifuentes. At second base, Colin Murphy. At third base, in the hot corner, it's A.B. Alvarado. Danny Bustamante is at short. Cannon Cameron's in left. Gannon Howard is in center. Payne Kernal is in right. And the battery mate for Brendan Buechele is Axel Alvarado. Lincoln Boyles will be leading things off for the Pearce Mustangs. It's the exact same starting lineup as we had a night before. Boyles followed by the left fielder Roberts, and then in the 3-hole is the first baseman Deuce Hernandez. He'll be followed by Nash Hornberger at third in the cleanup spot. Jesse Klein's the DH batting 5th. Nate Kinder will bat 6th at second base. Andrew Dingle is in right field batting 7th as that first pitch is high for ball 1. Catcher Brody Ross will bat 8th, and Ty Hinkle, who made that great catch out in center field, rounds out the order for the Mustangs. It's a 1-0 count to the leadoff man and shortstop number 16, Boyles.
Zach, we need a timeout counter, by the way. I learned from last night a lot of timeouts were called.
A lot of
timeout
timeouts.
counter.
A lot of stoppages of play. That one is roped right into the glove. No, it's going to be called out. They are going to say out. He caught it, and then it popped out of his glove, and Cifuentes almost had to run over to first base, but the umpire up the first baseline says that Boyles shot that right into the glove of Noah Cifuentes for an L3 and out number 1.
Yeah, Buechele was already on his way to go cover first just in case, because Boyles had stopped running thinking that it was an out. That was a good call, though, by the umpire. That ball hit straight Cifuentes right in the glove.
Off speed, just a bit outside to Luke Roberts for ball number 1. Buechele comes into this ball game with a 1.79 ERA on the season. Does not give up very many runs and is a battler with the, I believe, the most starts on the season. This is his 12th start on the year and has given up just 12 earned runs all year. This one's in play to AB. He'll play it on the second hop. Fire to Cifuentes, and it's 2 up, 2 down as he makes the 5-3 put out.
Good job there, letting your defense do a little work. Back-to-back plays from the L3, and then you have the 5-3 put out by Abe to Cifuentes. So good job right there. Your defense did a little work. You don't have to worry about stressing for the strikeouts, early at least.
That'll take us to the first baseman, number 21, Deuce Hernandez.
And Zach, people are still filing in, trying to find.
They must have been making a commute in traffic as we're already in the bottom of the first inning here as Buechele delivers ball number 1 a bit outside to the right hand hitting Hernandez. Right-handed throwing Buechele turns and delivers. And Hernandez will put this one in play. It's high. It's headed for center field, but it's not deep enough. Gannon Howard collects the F8 in straightaway center, and it's 3 up, 3 down for Pearce in the bottom of the first. We're headed to the second, scoreless here between the Colts and the Mustangs. Back after this here on the Zap Network, presented by John Wade Roofing.
John Wade Roofing has been serving the Arlington area since 1982, but the Wade legacy runs much deeper in the city of Arlington. A pioneer family that has had roots going back decades, John Wade and Company saw relatives attend the Cooper Street Arlington High campus and has had members play in Colt athletics for decades. And they're looking forward to serving this community for decades to come. Find out more at johnwaderoofing.com.
Navigating Medicare options isn't easy. Hi, I'm Patsy Arnold, and when the time came to navigate my options, I went to Chapman Cornelius. They helped me find the best plan for my needs, quoted me life insurance options, and guided me in making my decisions every step of the way. They want to do the same for you, so give them a call at 817-265-3346 or visit chapman-cornelius.com.
To the top of the second inning we go here at J.J. Pearce High School, and the second inning is presented by Pipe and Peak Plumbing. Call Caleb Renfro if you need cast iron replacement specialists at 817-807-7069. Serving Arlington for over 16 years. It's the 6, 7, and 8 spots in the Arlington lineup that'll be due up. Noah Cifuentes, the first baseman, made a great line-out grab defensively to start the bottom of the first, and he'll take a look at strike number 1 here. Jot, you made a mention of what was taking place as out number 3 was being recorded during the break.
Yeah, Brendan Buechele, not Dylan, sorry, the older brother. Brendan Buechele had already walked off. He was passing the runner's line, going from first to home, as that ball was getting caught in center field from Gannon Howard.
That shows the trust that you have in your defense as Cifuentes takes a look at a ball here to bring the count to 1-1. Cifuentes will put this in play to short, but it's a tapper to Boyles, pumps it in the glove, and throws it to Hernandez in time for the 6-3 putout.
But you know what I've noticed so far through these at-bats, through 6 batters, is that Boyles had to do a lot of work out there. He's had 4 balls hit to him. 2 of them he grounded out for 6 threes. The other 2 were hit singles right past him. So they're making somebody in the infield do some work and not just letting everything be in 3 up, 3 down strikeouts.
This will be yesterday's pitcher, today's starting shortstop, Bustamante, taking a look at ball number 1 here. Off-speed pitch has not really been working for Noah Joseph as of yet. A lot of them bouncing in. This one in play to left center field, and it is going off of the wall. Bustamante sliding safely into second, and he's got a double off that left center field fence just shy of the scoreboard.
Yeah, we were talking about that wall earlier. That's the same distance that Cifuentes missed that home run yesterday. That's a good piece of hitting there by Bustamante off the wall. It looks like the left fielder and center fielder had a chance to get it. He couldn't trap it. So Busta's now standing at second with 1 out.
He's in scoring position for the designated hitter, Corbin Quiros.
And the Colts have tied their hit total from last night, Zach, already through 7 batters.
It's as if there's a sense of urgency for these young men. This one's going to skitter away from the catcher, but Ross with a great recovery and throw down to Hornberger at third. Bustamante wisely stays put, retreats to second base, and it's ball 1 to Quiros.
Ross had a similar play like that last night at Arlington that kind of ate him up because the way it hit off the wall. But he's doing a good job back there, Ross is. He's a good catcher for the Mustangs. Can't run on him.
This one's going to get out of his glove, and now Bustamante's charging to third, and he'll get there. That one's in and out of the glove of the catcher. That is a pass ball.
There you go. That's what you were talking about earlier with Axel, but that one didn't go all the way to the wall. That one just hit out of his glove.
It went in and out of his glove and skittered about 10 to 15 feet up the first baseline in foul territory. And now Arlington's first run of the game sits at third base. Quiros will put this one straight up in the air, and it's in foul territory, but it'll be grabbed by the pitcher in foul territory. Quiros is retired on the FO1. That's not one that you put in your scorebook very often, but that does result in out number 2 for Cannon Cameron. Bustamante basically backing into Coach Womack up that third baseline there as Cameron takes a look at ball 1 inside.
It's my first chances. I got a chance to see them during tournament play. I didn't get a chance to see Cannon Cameron much. He's a big kid who walked by me earlier, and he made me feel short, and I'm not a short man.
He's going to pop this one to shortstop. It's going to be a tough play. Backhand, long throw, but it is in time as Boyles makes the throw to Hernandez, and Pearce escapes. Another runner at third with 1 out situation to collect those final 2 outs. We're headed to the bottom of the second. High school baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing. We'll be back after this.
Modern West Windows and Doors is a partner of the Zap Network. They're also partnered with trusted industry leaders like Lowen, Weather Shield, and Simpus to guarantee quality product and installation. Whether you're searching for new concepts for your entryway, living room, dining room, bedroom, or even a workshop, Modern West has the solutions you're looking for. Visit the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth or visit modernwestwindows.com.
Taqueria Taco Express is the official taqueria of Zach Arnold Productions, with locations in Arlington, Grand Prairie, Waxahachie, and a new location opening in Mansfield. Solving your Mexican food craving has never been easier. Visit them on Taco Tuesdays for their special 5 tacos and a large agua fresca for just $10. Find out more by visiting taqueriatacoexpress.com.
To the bottom of the second inning we go. Arlington has already batted through their lineup in just 2 innings, whereas in the bottom of the first, the Mustangs went 3 up, 3 down. So it'll be the 4, 5, 6 spots in their lineup. Third baseman Hornberger, DH Klein, and second baseman Kinder. Brendan Buechele with a very clean inning with that line out to first base. AB getting it to Noah on the 5-3, and then Deuce Hernandez flying out to center. Doesn't get much cleaner than that.
Doesn't get much cleaner than that. It was a good inning. Similar to last night, though. Busta started with a 3 up, 3 down. He had 2 strikeouts in the first. So you want to kind of follow that same pattern. But here, this part of the lineup was tough as the later the game got on for the Mustangs. So you want to make sure you set a precedent here for against the 4, 5, 6 early, so that way you have something to work on later.
Hornberger takes a look at ball 1 on the outside corner. He was 1 for 3 with a double and 2 RBI in last night's ball game. Also walked and flew out a couple of times as he finds himself ahead in the count here, 2-0. Another pitch that is just missing the zone. If it is, it's not missing by much. The righty Buechele delivers a slider that is too low, and it's a 3-0 count to the leadoff hitter, Hornberger.
The home plate seems very small tonight because there's some pitches that look like they were in the zone, but it's a 3-0 count now.
That one's down the pipe and peak for a called strike 1.
As I look down the line here, I see Eric Buechele. He's just looking, concentrating on his son. And you can see his reaction after those first 3 balls. It's something that I like to keep an eye on.
You have to wonder, where is the zone if that's not where it is? Ball 4 is issued, and Hornberger is the first base runner of the evening for the Mustangs.
And it's similar how the game started last night, too. Hornberger, to start the second, got walked before Klein came up and flew out to center. So you don't want to follow the same pattern last night, even though that Bustamante gave up no runs in the second. You want to just make sure you kind of cut that down, nip it in the bud before it escalates. Hornberger did get a stolen base last night, showing they can run on Axel. So you want to prevent that here at the bottom of the second.
Cifuentes covering the first base bag. As Buechele delivers a called strike one on his first pitch out of the stretch. Klein steps out of the batter's box and all the way out of the batting circle before he returns to that left-handed hitting spot. They'll make a throw over to first, and the runner is back standing up.
And that was dangerous. Buechele tripped over his own feet.
I was about to say, he stumbled a little bit. Arlington plays on dirt and grass. This is an all-turf facility, including turf on the mound. Might have stumbled a little bit on the exchange when he was making the move. This one's going to get fouled off into the netting at the backstop. And Buechele's ahead in the count, 0-2 on Jesse Klein.
If you're Axel behind the plate, if you see it, if you get a strikeout last night, Hornberger ran on a strikeout, and you end up getting in safely. You got to keep your eye out. If the runner takes off, you better be prepared to throw it.
No balls and 2 strikes here. Hornberger, the runner, led things off here in the bottom of the second with a walk. Buechele looking to collect his first strikeout. Check swing, and the home plate umpire says he went too far. Jesse Klein is retired, and there's one away for Nate Kinder.
There you go. Good pitch on the 0-2 there. Hornberger, Klein was a little confused on it. Looked like he wanted to chase after it outside in the zone. Couldn't pull the bat back in time. Don't need the appeal there. Ump had to call all the way down.
Yeah, did not need to motion up the third baseline. To the 4-man crew, 1 official at every base, as is customary for postseason play. First pitch is a ball away as the music continued to play during the beginning of the at-bat to Kinder. And it is 1-0.
Feel the rain on your skin.
I don't want to. That's why I put up this canopy tent.
I will say, though, that song did play constantly throughout the Michigan Wolverines basketball championship run. That was the little theme song, so I'll take it for now. Until it rains, and then I'll be sad.
Until it actually rains. This one's in play over the head of Bustamante into the left center field gap. Hornberger's rounding second. He's headed for third. He's going to be waved all the way home. The throw has to be perfect. To the plate. Axel, the tag, not in time. Pearce is on the board. It's going to be a double to left center for Nate Kinder and an advance on the throw. Hornberger comes in to score, and Pearce strikes first blood. It's 1-0.
Yeah, it looks like Howard had a hard time tracking that one to center field. As he got closer to it, he couldn't pick it up in time. So they're going to give it an RBI. On the scoreboard, they're calling it an RBI triple. He was safe at second if that throw was in.
That is not a triple.
But either way, Axel was there for the play. He had a hard play at the plate. He tried to swipe behind him.
It's absolutely not a triple.
But the run was already there.
That is not a triple. Off speed is low and away to the right fielder, Andrew Dingle. The entire Colt defense is playing on the lip of the infield grass with the runner now at third. Buechele with a quick glance up that way. Off speed, drops into the zone for a called strike one.
And you have to, if you're on the mound, Buechele, you have to pitch not to the umpire's call, but you have to pitch it in the zone that works for you. The umpire's not going to give you the calls that you're wanting up there, especially on the outside pitches. We've seen a few that should be strikes, but were called differently. You got to work for you to keep you in this game.
And he comes back and delivers a called strike number 2, working ahead in the count here. 1-2 to the right fielder. 2 for 3 with a couple of singles in last night's ball game was Dingle. He's going to pop this one foul past the Pearce first base coach. And he'll keep the at-bat alive at 1-2.
Brendan needs to shut the inning down here. Keep that runner at third because you don't want the roof to pop off of this place, the proverbial roof, as we're outdoors because the fans are ready.
It's a pretty packed house, standing room only, much like it was last night at Colt Field. The 1-2 is way too high up at the head region of the right fielder, and the count evens at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Next pitch, off speed, cannot catch the corner, and the count runs full.
Yeah, just these outside pitches, he's not getting them there. And they're looking like good pitches. The Mustangs aren't chasing on that stuff outside, but the ump's not giving him a call either.
He's not clipping that corner. Payoff pitch on the way. And he clips the inside corner for a called strike 3. Instead of tossing his bat to go to first base, Dingle returns to the third base dugout. There's 2 away.
Dingle has a spot on the pine for him over there in the dugout. You got to stop tossing your bats. That's the problem you had last night for Pearce. A lot of ball 4s, a lot of ball strike 3s. They were tossing their bats, thinking they were getting on base for free passes. A little disrespectful up there when the man on the mound just struck you out.
That'll take us to the catcher, Brody Ross, and he takes a look at ball 1 high. Kinder staying at third base. Colts are trying to leave him stranded there. Buechele with a sigh of the shoulders and comes home with it. That one is going to left field, and that's a base hit over the head of Bustamante. An RBI single by Brody Ross delivers run number 2. So the double by Kinder not only brings in Hornberger off of the walk, but now another solid piece of hitting to where the defense is not. And Ross makes it 2-0.
And you got the pitch. You got the pitch. Something that can help you out here, Buechele, to get out of the inning. It's hard because he's trying to pitch inside. He's not getting the calls on the outside part of the plate, so he has to pitch inside to the Mustangs, but they're getting hits on it.
Number 1, Zach Quintero coming in as the courtesy runner for the catcher, Brody Ross, with 2 outs. Ball 1 is issued to the center fielder, Ty Hinkle, the 9 spot in the Pearce lineup. And it is now 2-0 as Buechele tries to go to that left-hand quadrant of the plate to the righty hitters, and again cannot get the call.
You got to need a little help there from your catcher. He's quick on the throw back to the mound. Got to frame it, try to help your pitcher out.
This one's straight up in the air. Axel giving chase, but it'll go into the grandstands behind home plate. And much to the delight of the fans in the stands,
somebody caught it barehanded.
Somebody actually caught it. If this was banana ball, that would be the 3rd out of the inning.
Yeah, that one can only wish, right?
I actually saw on their social media that they're playing a spontaneous pop-up game at Navasota High School this evening. The first 1,000 people to make it to the ballpark will get free attendance to a pop-up Bananas versus Texas Tailgaters game at a high school campus just outside of Houston. 2-1 here, and that's a base hit to left. Through the gap, Cameron picks it up and gets it back in to keep the runner at second. But now it's Quintero in scoring position and Hinkle over at first base.
Yeah, it's hard. He's trying to pitch on the outside part of the plate, especially being a righty. You've seen a few lefties come up, and now when you have these righties, you want to pitch on the outside part and can work away, but he's not getting the calls
well,
there.
He has to bring it in. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah,
he's trying to frame it outside, and he brings it more in to accommodate the umpire's zone.
And he's putting it inside the wheel.
But he's putting it in the place where the bats are making contact with it.
But now with this righty-lefty matchup, you have a chance to work on the outside part of the plate because you might get a call on the opposite part.
On the opposite side, yeah. We got a little bit of spittle blowing in as I see a few droplets making its way onto my cell phone here.
That could just be somebody down the line.
I hope it's not. This one's right back up the middle between second and short. Quintero rounding third. He's going to score. The throw to third is not in time. Hinkle makes it over, and now there's a possible rundown opportunity, but no, it will stay a single and an RBI. Runners on the corners, and it's 3-0.
This inning's getting away from you. It's good. You gotta go out there and calm your pitcher down. If you're Alvarado, if you're one of the coaches, you have to go calm your pitcher down and tell him, hey, pitch to the defense and let us help the defense. But the ball is getting hit in the gaps. You just gotta settle them down a little bit, get out the inning. Your bats have been hot so far through 2 innings. You want to get them back up there. You don't want them to cool off.
Hinkle will make it around to third as he advances on that base hit that went to center field. It's an RBI for Lincoln Boyles. And that'll take us to the left fielder, Luke Roberts, who grounded out to third base as Pearce making a bit of a 2-out rally here in inning number 2. First pitch to him is low and away. A good grab there on the backhand by Axel. But it is ball number 1. Next pitch, it's going to go foul and come into the netting that is not too far away from us here, just offset behind home plate.
We're protected by Coach Peach. He has the hands. He's ready. He's been waiting for this day.
So 1 ball, 1 strike now to Luke Roberts. Runners on the corners with 3 runs already plated. Curveball drops in for a called strike 2.
There you go. That's how you get the breaking ball back over. You're finally working it in.
Well,
now you got to see if you can get something outside.
See, that one's a 12-6. He's only getting it in the up-down. The side-to-side rotation is not working. And now the runner is caught in one of those second to first rundown situations, and they're trying to keep up with the runner that's trying to come home, and they will just chase Lincoln Boyles back to first, and the jam rundown is thwarted. Hinkle never really had much of an opportunity to try to come home from third.
Yeah, Hinkle looked like he was waiting to see what was going to happen. He really didn't try to make a move coming home.
The 1-2 swung at into foul territory. Cifuentes comes over to take a look at it, and it will go into the softball complex that is directly behind us as about a dozen youngsters start going out behind the grandstands to see if they can go collect themselves a souvenir.
It's a foot race behind to see who's going to get the ball, just to give it back to the umpire. I don't think they get to keep souvenirs.
I don't think they do, not at the high school level. They'll check on the runner over at first. Cifuentes with a courtesy tag, but he does retrieve it, so Hinkle will stay put at third as Boyles gets checked on over at first.
You have a big gap between third and short, with Axel with Abe sitting there close to third.
That's a backhand on a pitch that's low and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 men on in the bottom of inning number 2.
Bustamante is doing a lot of walking out there short. There's a big gap there, so hopefully if this ball gets hit in his direction, he's ready for it. But you don't want to have anything else go out to the left field. You've already had 2 balls hit that way.
It's going to Bustamante. It's over his head by about 6 inches, and the 4th run will score. Howard will get it into the infield, but not before Ty Hinkle comes around and plates the 4th run of the inning on the 2-out single by Luke Roberts. Boyles able to advance to third on the play, so it stays runners at the corners with 2 outs. 4-0. On a bunch of dinks and dunks, aside from Kinder's double, everything's been a single. Single to left, single to left, single to center, single to left.
Single to left. And like you said, everything's being single, and everything's being hit over the head of Bustamante out towards left field, or finding that gap between third and short. That Axel is holding the runner at third at this point, but you got to play that gap there. They keep hitting in that gap with a bunch of right-handed hitters. You got to find a way to get out there. The last 2 balls were hit over the head of Bustamante, playing kind of shallow at short.
Coach Christian Alvarez coming out to have a conversation with his pitcher and his infield. But, Jot, you and I have noticed that Buechele is a placement pitcher. He's not going to blow a whole lot by you, but he's not getting the calls on his placement, and he has to compensate for what the home plate umpire's strike zone is, And as he continues to compensate more and more over the plate, Pearce takes advantage by collecting those base hits to left.
And it's a lot different than the umpire we had last night where the ball's called outside. The ball's outside, we're getting called strikes. Everything on the outside part of the plate, he's not getting the call. And like you said, it's hard for you to get placement when you want to work outside in, especially with a lot of right-handed hitters.
Yep.
You want to work outside in because you want to make them think and stretch for something that they can't hit. You can't do that. Now you're bringing everything back into the wheelhouse, and they're just hitting it right down the line. Like you said, rinse and repeat, back towards the same spot, back towards short, back towards left.
Yeah, it's all pretty much going to the same place. Single to left, single to left, single to left, single to center field. Everything's going right back to the pretty much same place because he has to keep putting it in the same spot over the plate.
Yeah, he's not getting what he needs. He needs to start doing some stuff low, maybe try getting to beat it into the dirt.
Deuce Hernandez takes a look at a breaking pitch on the inside corner. Instead of attacking the outside, he's trying to go inside. And now Coach Womack is coming out, and this is the second mound visit.
If you can go inside and low, then maybe you have a different type of approach here.
No, this is it. Brendan Buechele issued ball 1 to Deuce Hernandez and is going to be pulled after just 1 2/3 innings and 4 runs given up. Pitching changes are presented by Pipe and Peak Plumbing, and we'll let you know who the new pitcher is when we come back here on Zap.
Pools in Texas need servicing all year long. At Rami Pools, LLC, we provide quality pool services such as cleaning, maintenance, and repairs. So call 469-951-0107 for a free estimate and ask for Roberto. Rami Pools, LLC. We're going to make you fall in love with your pool again. Hablamos español.
Local Legends Figures immortalizes your athlete's achievements for a lifetime. Featuring 6-inch figures with poses in football, baseball, band, hockey, even lacrosse. Local Legends makes every effort to show their likeness down to every possible uniform detail. To order your custom figure, call 817-681-0319 or email orders at locallegendsfigures.com.
Pitching changes presented by Pipe and Peak, serving the Arlington area for over a decade. You can arrange a free quote by calling 817-807-7069. The new pitcher that came down the pipe is senior number 14, Joel Gomez. Gomez coming in relief of the starting pitcher, Brendan Buechele. 1.2 innings pitched, 4 runs allowed, and 2 strikeouts.
And he's still on the hook for the 2 runners left in the corners right now with Gomez warming up. It's a little frustrating. It's not like Buechele did anything wrong, especially being the pitcher on the mound. If you can't hit the outside part of the plate, it's one thing. But it's another when you're not getting the calls on the outside part of the plate.
He had several sliders and several breaking pitches.
And they're not giving them the calls on the outside part, so you have to work it in. And that's why I was asking, the plate seems so much smaller tonight, apparently.
Here's the thing. I spoke to a umpire friend of mine who's been a mentor of mine just in life for the last 20 years. He says that there are 2 different types of calls that can be made on those strike zones. Is you make the call based on when the catcher actually catches the ball, where his glove is when he catches it, versus tracking the ball and watching it as it actually crosses the plate. The very, very skilled umpires are able to watch the ball and see it cross the plate and not even worry about who or where the catcher's glove is. But there are instances where what you're tracking is where the ball ends up versus what happens as it crosses the plate. And I think that's possibly the situation as Hernandez pokes this one on the first pitch from Gomez. And run number 5 comes across. Boyles comes in to score after getting a single and an RBI. And Hernandez gets another single to left field and an RBI.
And now the Mustangs have batted around, Zach.
And how frustrating is it for Arlington to have had bases loaded in the first inning and a runner on third in the second inning and no runs to show for it. Instead of a potential 5-3 ball game, 5-4 ball game, it's a 5-0 advantage for Pearce here as ball 1 is issued to Nash Hornberger.
And they look like they made a defensive adjustment now with Hornberger coming up. Busta's finally slid over into that gap where the ball's been hit continuously. The left fielder's still playing deep, but
Speaking of deep, this one's in play to deep center field. Gannon Howard makes the grab, and the inning is finally over. But not before the game gets flipped on its head entirely in a 5-run second inning. Still a lot of baseball left to play, but the Colts have a lot of work to do when we come back here on Zap.
John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
Field Ops North Texas is the trusted name in athletic field marketing for schools, teams, leagues, and tournaments. They even do commercial landscaping. The better question is, what can't they do? With fast turnaround times and proven expertise, they make sure your grounds look unbeatable every time. Call 817-908-2194 to find out more.
Third inning is presented by Field Ops. They do more than just field markings, they also do commercial landscaping. Find out all John Kling can do for you by calling 817-908-2194. The third inning presented by our friends at Field Ops. Alongside Jot Holly, I'm Zach Arnold, bringing you Game 2 of this by-district series between the J.J. Pearce Mustangs and the Arlington Colts. First pitch to the top of the order, Colin Murphy, is low for ball 1 from Noah Joseph. Now working with a 5-run advantage. That lefty's going to have a lot of confidence as Murphy cannot connect for a 1-1 count. Time gets called by Murphy just before Joseph was able to begin his windup. He'll step out of the box and back into it. Play is signaled. And now we're ready for the 1-1. Swung on and missed again. Murphy's bat going just over the top of the lefty Joseph's pitch, and it's 1-2. Next pitch is way too low. I think it might have bounced on home plate before it went into the glove of Brody Ross. And Murphy has a 2-2 count now.
At least the positive is for the Colts, you've managed to get 3 hits so far.
And there's hit number, well, nope, not a hit number 4. It looked like it was going to carry over the head of the shortstop Boyles, and instead it's an F6.
Boyles has done a lot of work out there already through now 3 innings. A lot of balls been hit in his direction, but as I was saying, you've got 3 hits. Yeah, you left the bases loaded in the first, which is not something that you want to look back on kindly, but you at least show the ability to get hits and get base runners. This game isn't that far out of reach.
Ball 1 low and inside to Gannon Howard, who was able to spark that bases loaded situation with a single to left field back in the first inning. Howard's going to pop this one up and foul it out of play, headed for the softball field behind us as the count moves to 1-1. A long slide from the lefty during his windup, and it goes wide for ball number 2.
One thing, too, when you have a lefty on the mound, for Bouchel, it was hard. He was trying to go against a bunch of righties, pushing the ball out on the outside part of the plate. This lefty has to come into you. So you don't have many lefties in the lineup except for Axel. The ball's going to run in on you.
Howard's going to poke this one up in the air. It's playable for the first baseman, Hernandez, and he'll make the grab for out number 2. An F6 and an F3 Arlington not able to collect the spark that they did back in the first inning with this top of the lineup. And there's 2 away now for Axel. First pitch to him is low and outside for ball 1. Axel was able to send it in the direction of the shortstop Boyles. It caromed off of his glove, but his throw was too high, and he got credited with an infield single his last time up. He'll check swing here as this one goes inside. They make the appeal up the third baseline. He did not go around, and it's ball 2.
As we're getting joined here in the stands, Zach, by the girls softball team for Arlington High. They walked in front of us. They are in the second round of the playoffs taking on Flower Mound Marcus this weekend.
This one's a chopper to second base. Slow roller, but fielded in time for out number 3. Kinder to Hernandez. And Pearce records a 3-up, 3-down inning after plating 5 back in the bottom half. We're headed to the bottom of the 3rd inning now. Pearce is in front. Back after this on the Zap Network, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Are you a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage? Or perhaps you're navigating the complexities of Medicare? Look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent insurance agency with over 50 years of experience with tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need home and auto, business insurance, or individual or group medical, Chapman Cornelius has knowledgeable agents who will help you select just what you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott at 817-265-3346.
Looking for a plumber you can rely on? Pipe and Peak handles all your residential plumbing needs. From tunneling and slab leaks to camera inspection and sewer repair, and even cast iron replacement. They offer competitive pricing and now offer financing to make repairs easier to manage. Family owned and trusted for over 16 years, they treat every home like their own. Call 817-807-7069 to get your free quote and get your plumbing handled right.
Bottom of the 3rd inning at J.J. Pearce High School. We had a little bit of droplets that came sweeping in from the wind that's blowing from right field to left. Kind of blew up into our face a little bit. But we've got the canopy tent to kind of cordon off our little broadcast area, but it is very intimate and cozy here tonight, Jot. Standing room only over near the concession stand. A lot of people in the grandstands to our right. In spite of it being a Thursday and people having school and work tomorrow, this is definitely a playoff atmosphere.
Yeah, this is what you expect out of playoff games. Last night we had a good crowd at Arlington High. A lot of fans came up to watch their Colts in a game that was a heartbreaking loss that we had back in the at the, I guess not the ballpark at Arlington, but the
Colt Field.
Thank you. Tonight, same thing. The Mustangs, they showed up in support. They had the student section over there next to the dugout for the Mustangs. They got family and friends here, kids running around at the softball field behind us. So everybody's here. People came out. We've had Coach Peaches here and Coach Story from the football team. He is here, and some softball players for the playoff Colts softball team is here. So a lot of fans are here for the Colts.
DH Jesse Klein facing Gamez for the first time, and he'll take a look at ball number 1 to lead off the bottom of the 3rd.
Yeah, Gamez is going to have a similar problem to what Bouchel had, getting certain calls on the outside part of the plate.
Just the nature of the beast so far, as this one is going to be a called strike 1. Klein will step out of the batter's box and step back in on the left-hand side of the plate as he faces the 1-1. And the breaking ball never breaks across the plate. That one will be ball number 2.
Interesting question for you, Zach, since Gamez came in midway through the second. He did pitch last night, so I wonder what the leash is, do you think, for Gamez as a reliever before you turn to another reliever to put in for the rest of the game?
Well, I think it has to do also with the lineup because Bouchel is being DH'd for, so you're kind of leaning towards pitchers that can continue your lineup the way that it is so that you don't have to make any changes, as it's a 3-1 now. And that one's on a rope to right field. That's in for a base hit. Kernal is able to field it and get it back to the infield relatively quickly, but it's a leadoff single to right for Jesse Klein. First time it's gone in that direction out to right field. But now there's a runner aboard to start the bottom of the third inning.
Yeah, that was a lefty up there at the plate, though, so that's the first time the lefty's gotten a hit out that way. Boyle's got a hit. He hit it back towards left center. So we haven't seen many pitches go in that direction as Coach Womack's going to have a conversation. Or I guess while the umpires are having a conversation.
The umpires are having a conversation about the bat that was used on that hit. They inspected it, and now all four officials are meeting between the pitcher's mound and the third baseline. And now an explanation coming to Coach Womack, who is standing beside his catcher just on the lip of the batter's circle. I think they're talking about a possible sticky substance on the grip of the bat. They gave it back to Coach Justin Rowland, though. It has made its way back into the Pearce third base dugout. And the home plate official offering his explanation to Coach Womack has a little bit of a smile on his face. The official does, not Coach Womack. Base runner will be permitted to stay, so regardless of whatever contention or explanation Coach is looking for, it will leave Jesse Klein at first base. And it'll take us to Nate Kinder, who got the scoring started on a double to left center, advanced on the throw, collected an RBI and a run. That one's going to go off of the leg of Gomez, and everybody's going to be safe.
Yeah, that ball hit Gomez hard. Ricocheted.
Right back up the middle.
Ricocheted past the point that Buechele and Alvarado over there in third couldn't get to it, so that's going to be a base hit. But, man, that's going to hurt.
Now they're going to come out to take a look at him for medical reasons. He threw it relatively quickly. I was still looking down at my score sheet. And Kinder swung at the first pitch he saw, sent it straight back up the middle. I don't think Gomez had even finished his follow-through, and it caromed off of his right foot, I believe, and it trickled towards shortstop. But by that point, after Bustamante collected it, everybody was safe. So there's two aboard now, with Klein at second, Kinder at first, for the right fielder, Andrew Dingle.
Now batting for the Mustangs, right fielder number 5, Andrew
Cifuentes will be playing on the green of the grass, not even standing on the lip. He is full-fledged a third of the way up the baseline. It's a righty batter who will most likely try to send it up that baseline if they elect to go small ball here. Gomez with a glance at the runner at second and comes home, and the breaking ball is inside for ball one. Dingle did indeed square up for the bunt, but pulled back in time. So Cifuentes' instincts were correct. Gomez again. That one is a foul, very loudly called by the umpire because it went behind Axel towards the backstop. And if that had been a loose ball, then the runners would have tried to advance. So he calls foul very quickly, very loudly to keep everybody where they're at and make the count 1 ball, 1 strike.
We saw a situation last night. One of the batters for Pearce had dropped down a 2-strike bunt and bunted foul and getting called for a strikeout.
Time gets called at the plate as A.B. Alvarado shifted up the third baseline. Bustamante shifted from short towards third. And the second baseman, Murphy, tried to sneak behind the runner, Jesse Klein, over at second. But the man at the plate, Dingle, calls time instead. He'll bunt this back up the middle. Gomez fields, fires, and will get the punch out over at first. But the sacrifice is successful as both Pearce runners make it into scoring position, advancing another 90 feet.
Yeah, the Colts were ready for the bunt there. Alvarado and Gomez got there to the ball at the same time, but it was a perfectly placed bunt right in front of Gomez where he had to run off the mound to get it. Well, they weren't going to get the lead runner at third by the way that ball came off the bat straight away.
Yeah,
instead of down the line.
the only play that he had, especially being a right-handed thrower, he didn't really have any kind of opportunity to set his feet and throw it kind of off his center of gravity. So he went with his momentum and collected the out to Cifuentes at first. This is ball number 1 to the catcher, Brody Ross. Got 2 Pearce runners in scoring position now. As Gomez turns and delivers. And that off-speeder goes a bit outside for ball 2. Axel will throw to his cousin AB down at third, but the runner is back and standing on that third base bag in plenty of time.
As the continuation of balls to strike ratio on the outside part of the plate grows ever further.
So Gomez tries to come back inside with it, but that one's below the knees, and it's a 3-ball count now to the catcher, Brody Ross.
At what point in time, if you're a Colt pitcher, do you just say, where can I throw the ball without throwing it right down the middle of the plate? You can't throw it outside, you're not getting the calls. You
Can't throw it inside either, no. And it's a 4-pitch walk, and the bases are loaded. I don't have the words, Jot. I truly don't, because this is what Bouchel's problem was in his outing. He was trying to clip the corner and could not. Tried to adjust by coming back inside, and it was getting called too far inside or too low. Gomez is suffering from the exact same issue.
And not to take away from anything from the Mustangs, because the Mustangs are doing what they need to do at the plate. They're getting singles.
But they're just doing batting practice, man.
They're doing batting practice. They're getting the ball kind of fed to them on the inside part of the plate.
Suicide squeeze squared up for and pulled back as strike 1 is called.
A lot of balls have had to run inside on a lot of right-handed hitters from Bouchel and now Gomez, that the ball's just in the wheel roll over the head of Bustamante going towards left field and left center field. But he can't push it the other way because nothing's staying out there.
Henkel will foul this one out of play, and it's 0-2. He originally squared up for the suicide squeeze to see if they could steal a run over at home plate. But with an 0-2 count now, he probably won't be squaring up to bunt. Bases full of Mustangs here in the bottom of the third. Pearce already ahead by 5 as Gomez delivers the 0-2. That one's in play, headed for center field. Howard having to retreat, but he'll make the grab. Runner is tagging at third, and they will throw to third to try to keep the runners from advancing. But Jesse Klein will come in to score on the sac fly for Henkel. F8 sac RBI makes it 6-0 in favor of the home team. 2 outs now as there's 2 runners aboard. Quintero came in to run for the catcher Ross. He'll be at first. And number 2, Nate Kinder, stands on the second base bag that he'll be defending 1 out from now. Back to the top of the order in Lincoln Boyles. Had a single to center field and an RBI and a run scored his last time up. This time he attacks that opposite quadrant, the right-hand part of the plate to a lefty hitter. And he gets the friendly call. It's 0-1. Two on and 2 out. An 0-1 count to the top of the order. Gomez delivers it neck high. They'll throw down to first. The tag, not in time. Cifuentes thought that he was able to pop the glove down in time, but the first base umpire says that the runner is back safely. Not by much.
That was a great throw down.
It was a great accurate throw by Axel down that first baseline. 2 balls and a strike as Gomez flaps his arms in frustration. He thought that he placed that where it needed to be. And now he'll have to come set on the mound again to try to figure out exactly where he does need to put it.
At some point in time, something needs to be called a strike on the outside part of the plate because you're not getting any of those. And it's caused this situation that the Colts are in.
So he'll come back inside with it, and now it's too far in as Boyles sucks in his gut and straightens his knees to take a look at a 3-ball, 1-strike count now. Hitters count to a young man who already has a hit this evening. And he'll foul that one off to bring the count full. Runners will be going with 2 outs and a full count. Gomez looking to get out of this inning with only 1 run allowed. Boyles takes a couple of practice swings with 1 foot in the batter's box and 1 foot out. Returns to the box, swings the bat a couple of times, and now is ready for Gomez's payoff pitch. And that's too low. The 12-6 changeup goes too low below the knees. And the bases are loaded for Luke Roberts. Coach Womack coming out for a mound visit.
He's taking the ball from him.
He might be. Haven't seen the ball leave Gomez's hand yet, but it's a bases loaded with 2 outs situation. And now Gomez is coming off of the mound. Pitching change presented by Pipe and Peak when we come back here in the bottom of the 3rd inning on the Zap Network.
Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to hear Zach talk about things beyond the realm of sport, catch him with me, Ben Hart, on the Intergalactic Peace Coalition podcast. For nearly a decade, we've been geeking out on IPC about our favorite nerdy things. We have a back catalog of over 350 episodes diving into sci-fi and fantasy stories like no one else. Find the Intergalactic Peace Coalition at ipcpodcast.podbean.com or download via your favorite podcast app.
PDA Advocacy Group would like to remind you that autism is a wide spectrum of neurological differences and it's on the rise, now affecting 1 in 36 Americans and more cases found in males. Those with autism have trouble with social interactions, communication, and can engage in repetitive or self-harming behaviors. While the causes of autism are still being researched, we can begin to learn more by visiting nationalautismassociation.org.
Cleveland now
Pitching changes are presented by Pipe and Peak, serving the Arlington area for over a decade. You can arrange a free quote by calling 817-807-7069. You might have heard the PA announcer say as much, but we'll confirm it for you. Taking the mound for Arlington, coming down the pipe, is senior number 15, Cody Cleveland. Cleveland on the mound for Arlington. Jot, he was projected as a possible Game 3 starter, but with the score being what it is and with the bases full of Mustangs, if you don't get out of this situation and give your team a chance to go back to the plate, you're not going to have a Game 3 to even worry about.
Yeah, you're asking to get to that point of a Game 3, but yeah, that's a hypothetical at this situation. You're down 6-0. And not saying 6-0's something you can't overcome. The season finale between Bowie and South Grand Prairie was 6-0 going into the bottom of the 7th inning.
I remember that.
And the Volunteers came back to score 5 with the tying run on 3rd and the winning run, which was Jackson Turner at first before it ground out ended the game. But that's a different situation playing a team of backups that South Grand Prairie had put into the game compared to a team of starters that the Pearce Mustangs have out there now.
Gomez came in with 2 outs in the 2nd inning. He leaves with 2 outs in the 3rd inning, 1 full inning of work. As Cleveland comes in and delivers ball 1 low and away to Luke Roberts, who's 1 for 2 on the day. Got a single to left and an RBI his last time up. Also grounded out to AB. It's a 1-0 count here to the left fielder as the right-handed senior delivers ball 2 low and away. Looked like a slider that maybe he was a little bit late on his release point with. 2-0. Cleveland with the ball in the glove at his waist and comes home. Suicide squeeze and a called strike on the outside corner.
And the little kid over here on my left, he did not like that call of a strike. But the batter left the bunt down too long.
So it's 2 balls and a strike now to Roberts as Cleveland comes home. Up in the air and out of play, headed for the grandstands, and we'll go just behind it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs now.
The sound you hear was not a car, it was just a sound
Not
effect.
actual glass breaking.
Though it would be interesting time to call Chapman Cornelius if a car does break, glass does break from my ball into the windshield.
Low and outside on the next pitch from Cleveland, and the count runs full to Luke Roberts with nowhere to put him.
If you're Cleveland, all you can do, you got to throw the gas here.
You got to throw your best pitch.
Throw your best pitch here with a full count just to get out the inning to save whatever opportunity you got for your
All
team.
the runners will be going. Payoff pitch. That's in play, headed for center field. Howard coming up about 4 steps, and he'll make the grab for the F8, and the inning is over. 1 run comes across, and Pearce leaves them loaded. We're headed to the 4th inning now. The Colts trail by 6 in a critical must-win Game 2. Back after this here on the Zap Network.
Modern West Windows and Doors invites you to see the difference. Whether you need sliding doors, bay windows, or just need a more modern look, Modern West has options to fit both your style and budget. Stop by the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth to see for yourself, or call 682-255-6094 for more information.
Hey, this is John Wade Jr., Colt Football 97, class of 98. And the next time you have a roofing issue, be sure and call Arlington's favorite roofer, John Wade Roofing. Look us up on the internet at johnwaderoofing.com.
The 4th inning is presented by Trinity Logistics Services. Don't let hauling be a hassle. Trinity has dumpsters that fit any size project, and they drop off and pick up so you can focus on cleaning up a win for your home or business. Call Chet Soto at 817-693-1302 for more information. A.B. Alvarado will be leading things off for the Colts here in the top of the 4th, trying to provide a spark after that very deflating 5-run second has completely turned this game on its head.
Third baseman, Abraham Alvarado, leading off.
First pitch to him is going to be above the block Arlington lettering on his chest for ball number 1.
Yeah, what you can do here if you're the Colts, because you've managed to get hits. You've gotten 3 hits, which is your total from last night. Make them work outside because they're not getting the calls on the outside part of the plate.
Strike gets called here at the knees for A.B. Alvarado.
Make them come back inside. You have a team full of right-handed hitters against a right-handed pitcher, left-handed pitcher. Make them run inside. If you can't go outside, make them come to you.
He goes too low there, and it's a 2-ball and 1 strike count. Just trying to find his way aboard. He was able to do so on a base on balls in his last plate appearance. He'll foul this one off to even the count at 2-2. Seems like it was a lifetime ago since that first inning when he was able to draw that walk. A lot of baseball has happened between those 2 at-bats.
Yeah, that was that first inning. He drew the walk and led to, after that, leaving the bases loaded at about the end of that inning.
He'll put this one in play to left field, and it's going to drop in for a base hit down the corner. It's picked up there by the left fielder, Roberts, and A.B. wisely decides to stay put, but he's got a leadoff single to left field to start this top of the 4th inning.
Hey, you know, sometimes you find life somewhere. Any little thing can happen. First hit there for A.B. Now you have Cornell and Cifuentes behind it. You still have big bats in this Arlington lineup. 6 runs is a lot, but if you start chipping away now, by the time you get to the 7th inning, it makes it much more manageable to try to capitalize and get the win out of it.
I'll take the first run we can get. Still 6-0 in favor of Pearce right now, as Cornell will put this one into left field, just past the outstretched arm of the third baseman, Hornberger. And A.B. will move into scoring position on the single to left.
And as you see, the pitcher for the Mustangs, he can't go outside either. So now he realizes he can only go inside. Coming inside now is giving up back-to-back hits. You have to pitch inside, especially lefty-righty matchups. You got to wait for that pitch coming at you. So if you're Cifuentes here, get something in that wheelhouse and try to get AB in.
That one's across the knees on the left-hand quadrant of the strike zone. Noah shakes his head in disagreement at that called strike one. 0-1 to him here. Next pitch is too high for a ball.
There you go. You take that. If you're Noah, you got to drop the knees a little bit here. Make him throw something in you. If he's going to throw low at your knees, it's got to just drop down a little bit in your stance. Throw your hands out there and pull it down the left field line for a base hit.
That one is a slider too low, and that is ball 2 below the knees of Big 26. AB, the runner at second. Kernal, the runner at first. Nobody out here in the top of the 4th inning. Wind is blowing in from right field to left. And that one is out for a hitter's count of 3-1 to Cifuentes, who grounded out to short his last time up.
There you go, Big Noah. You got 3-1 count. He's going to have to come back to you. If you get it coming back to you, you got to take it. If it's outside, leave it alone.
And he's going to send that one sharply down the line. That's a base hit down that third base line. Here comes the runner. AB's going to score. Kernal to third. Cifuentes hustling to second. He's in. It's a RBI double, and the Colts are on the board. It's 6-1.
Buy that man some orange chicken from Panda Express tonight. He just earned it right there. That was a big hit. That's what you were saying there on the 3-1. You know he's got to come inside. It's a lefty-righty matchup. You gotta look at it, drop your knees. You got to pull that bat down the left field line. That's what Noah did. Now you got a base hit and a run on the board.
6-1 the score now as a time gets called by Coach Justin Rowland. 2 men in scoring position for Danny Bustamante, who had a double to the left center field gap, went off of the wall during his last plate appearance. Arlington making the most noise since that first inning when they loaded the bases, hoping to make a little bit more noise here as AB comes around to score after that single to left. Kernal now taking up third base. Alongside my partner, Jot Holly, I'm Zach Arnold. We're glad to have you along for tonight's ball game. We see Donna Nipper tuning in the chat, cheering on the Colts. My mom using her YouTube profile to chat some people up. A reminder, fans, that if you subscribe to the channel and wait a brief 10 minutes, you too can join the chat, and we'll give you a shout-out during tonight's broadcast. Cifuentes is going to have a pinch runner with a re-entry situation. They want some speedier legs out there on the base paths. This is going to be number 25, Julian Valdivinos. Senior number 25, Valdivinos, taking over at second for Cifuentes.
Yeah, that's a great hit there. You want the speed now on second. With Bustamante, it's the same thing, Danny. You just got to follow along what you saw the previous guys come up between AB and Kernal and Cifuentes. It's a lefty-righty matchup. He's got to come into you. They're not getting the calls on the outside part of the plate. Neither team is. So make them run it into you. Hit something down that line again. You can bring in 2 and cut this lead in half. This is where your team makes up for it here for those balls hit over your head. Balls hit towards your direction. You make them pay and show them how it really feels.
Boyles is playing in shallow left field as Bustamante takes a look at a called strike one at the knees. The shortstop Boyles is on the very back lane of the infield, practically standing on the green turf in left field, trying to anticipate any contact that'll go that direction. That is more or less where Bustamante was able to hit it last time.
And he had a lot of balls hit in that direction. He's already had 6 balls in that direction. He fielded 3, and 3 others went for base hits.
He is going to send that one down the left field line. Just did not quite time it as it goes foul.
Just a bit too early there. He pulled it down the left field line. He needs to sit back on that a little bit longer there. It ran right into him. That's a base hit.
Now he's got to defend the plate on an 0-2 count after the called strike one. Now the foul. 0-2 to him with 2 men in scoring position.
They're setting up on the outside. They're not getting those calls there, so be careful.
Swing and a miss. Busta is retired, and Joseph collects the first strikeout of the night for him. And it'll take us to Corbin Quiros, who fouled out his last time up.
Designated hitter, Corbin
Serving as the
Quiros.
DH for the pitcher tonight. Now DHing for Cody Cleveland. He'll square up for a bunt, and it will get fouled, and then carry him off of the catcher, Brody Ross.
Into the gut, too. He had to drop down for a second there. Hopefully he's okay.
Neither of the first baseline infielders, either Hernandez or Kinder, were anticipating a bunt attempt there. Might have been able to try to leg one out, but now Hernandez is aware of it, and he is standing on the lip of the infield grass. 0-1 to Quiros as play resumes. They'll let that one go, and the runners will retreat to their respective bases. 1 ball, 1 strike, as Ross came up from his crouch and made a pump fake down to third baseline. Kernal back in plenty of time. Valdivinos didn't even have a man covering him. Very wide gap back up the middle, as Boyles is between second and third base. And Quiros swings a golf swing at something he probably shouldn't have, and it's 1-2. Second baseman Kinder probably closer to first base than he is to second base right now with the position that he's in.
You can't chase anything on the outside part of the plate. They're not giving you the calls out there. Anything on the outside part of the plate, you just got to leave it alone. They're not going to call the strike on it.
1-2. Swung on and missed. After no strikeouts in the entire ball game, Joseph with back-to-back Ks. And the Colts are at risk of leaving 2 more men stranded as we go to the 9-hole hitter, Cannon Cameron.
Left fielder, Cannon Camera.
So 2 away now here. And that is too low. Good eye by Cannon. Just a sophomore with a really good eye watching that one go below his knees. The 1-0. That one creeps up a few inches, and that one is right at the knees. And it'll be a called strike number 1. Joseph sets and delivers. And that one's going to be chopped foul, headed for the student section. That's got their hands right up on the netting of the backstop over there.
Yeah, he kind of chased that one lower,
Yeah,
a lot
did.
lower than he needed to. And that's what you've seen these last 3 at-bats. They're chasing pitches away that they need to just leave alone. And they managed to strike out back-to-back on those kind of fastball-type pitches from Joseph.
He'll come set and the 1-2 with 2 outs. Swung on and missed. Back-to-back-to-back strikeouts after the mound visit from Coach Rowland. And the inning is over. Arlington strands 2 more in scoring position as they plate the first run of the game. As we see how these final innings unfold, Modern West invites you to see the difference new windows can make in your home. Visit modernwestwindows.com to learn more about the sponsors of the ZAP 4th inning stretch. Back after this.
When your high school field needs to look game ready, trust John Kling and the pros at Field Ops North Texas. This veteran-owned team delivers fast turnaround and long-lasting field striping for football, soccer, lacrosse, and more, using professional-grade paint and equipment. Field Ops proudly serves schools and communities across North Texas, helping student-athletes compete on fields that look as good as they play. Get a free quote today by visiting gofieldops.com/north-texas.
Navigating Medicare options isn't easy. Hi, I'm Patsy Arnold, and when the time came to navigate my options, I went to Chapman Cornelius. They helped me find the best plan for my needs, quoted me life insurance options, and guided me in making my decisions every step of the way. They want to do the same for you, so give them a call at 817-265-3346 or visit chapman-cornelius.com.
Did you click the right button there, buddy?
I'm sorry, I had a mini panic attack.
Bottom of the 4th inning here on the ZAP Network. After we clicked a intro video instead of the live bug. we're in our fullest form, I promise you, as Cody Cleveland comes back out for another bit of work. He was able to escape the jam, and he'll continue with his presence here, facing Deuce Hernandez, who's 1 for 2 on the evening.
Okay, here we go. Lead off the bottom of the fourth for the Mustangs, number 21.
Hernandez got a single to left field and an RBI. First pitch is low, below the knees, 4-1. Swing and a miss there, probably a little bit low in the zone, but Hernandez offers at it and can't connect, and it's 1-1. Cody Cleveland delivers ball number 2 low. Tried to go with the slider, it looks like there, and it just goes closer to the ankles than the knees of number 21. Oh, got him to offer at the off speed. Cannot connect, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Cleveland looking for an inning here, a good inning here since coming in to get that F8. So you need to get a good first out here against Hernandez, who's a dangerous hitter.
Hernandez will call time, and the righty hitter will step out of the batter's box. And a quick sigh of the shoulders. Taps the corner of home plate and is set for Cleveland's 2-2. The same off speed that he offered at, he lays off of this time, and the count runs full. Three balls and 2 strikes for Hernandez. Cleveland with the payoff pitch. Too low. Ball 4 to Hernandez. He draws a leadoff walk.
Yeah, that looked like just a misplay there by Cleveland. He was trying to give him something that he couldn't reach, but they're not chasing pitches on the outside part of the plate. They're not getting calls.
Nobody's chasing outside pitches tonight.
Yeah, they're not getting calls, as Hernandez is going to be ran for.
21 for 22. 22, the sophomore Jack Griffin coming in to run for Hernandez. Griffin the runner, Hernandez with the walk. Nash Hornberger digging into the batter's box now. Arlington, according to the scoreboard, has collected 6 base hits tonight, Jot, as that one goes through the legs of Axel, and the runner has to return to first base. Griffin was a little too far off the bag there, so Axel made a check down to Cifuentes. Ball 1 at the plate to Hornberger. 6 base hits for Arlington shows the scoreboard, 8 base hits for Pearce, but a 5-run differential.
Ask me how many players have been left stranded for the Arlington Colts, Zach.
How many?
5.
This one's going to carry him off of Axel, and that will move the runner to second base.
That 5-run differential is the 5 runs that the Colts have left on base, including the last inning where they left 2 runners in scoring position as that runner moved up to second. Left 2 runners in scoring position that last inning, and the bases loaded back in the first. 3 innings they've had runners in scoring position.
Well, and there was a runner on third as well, so does that make it 6?
Though that was
called strike to make it 2-1.
Well, the Bustamante was left stranded at third in the second inning, and the first inning was a double play, so technically
one of those runners was eliminated.
Correct. That was
Gotcha.
Free as getting tagged at second as a pinch runner.
Right.
So it would be 2 in the first, 1 in the second, Bustamante, and then those 2
more
in the fourth.
Time will get called very loudly as Hornberger was tired of waiting.
I've noticed when time has gotten called, the home plate umpire has looked down to the crew chief of the officiating crew back by second, making sure that it's been called and it's been seen.
After the very unfortunate miscommunication that affected base running late in the ball game, as Hornberger will foul that one off. It's the same crew as it was from last night, just rotating one base over. Two balls and two strikes now to Hornberger. Fly out and a base on balls in the last two plate appearances for him tonight. And Cleveland will step off the back of the pitching plate as we will come set again for the 2-2. Cleveland looks over his right shoulder at the runner, looks again and comes home. In at the knees for a called strike 3. Hornberger with a death glare to the home plate umpire. He disagreed, but it does not matter. There's one away.
I don't think Hornberger could believe it. The way he looked back at the umpire, thinking he was pulling an April Fool's joke or something.
We're a few weeks apart from that. We're going to be having the first of the month this weekend, starting May. And people are dressed up in hoodies and blankets here tonight as the temperature continues to gradually decline the deeper into the evening we get. First pitch was around 64 degrees. I would venture it's well into the 50s by this point, as ball one is issued low and inside to the DH, Jesse Klein.
And tomorrow's supposed to be even colder with the rain expected in the forecast. We're supposed to be in the 50s all day tomorrow. So very
make sure to bundle up for work then.
Very spring weather for us to be this close to May. School gets out here soon for high school kids.
Ball two high from Cody Cleveland, snagged there by Axel, so no wild pitch. According to WeatherBug, it's still about 60 degrees, but it feels a lot chillier than that considering the cloud cover and the breeze. The 2-0 is down the pipe and peak for a called strike 1. 2 balls and a strike with 1 out to Klein. Got a single to right field and scored a run, but also struck out earlier in the ballgame. Curveball cannot find the zone, and it's a hitter's count now to the designated hitter. Klein will dig back into the batter's box with a 3-1 count here. Cleveland looks over his right shoulder at the runner and comes home, and it'll get fouled off at home plate to bring the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Countdown on the scoreboard, 3, 2, 1.
It was interesting that Klein swung at that. Like we were saying, a lot of pitches on the outside part of the plate have not been called strikes. He chased that one away, and it got foul tipped, so that worked out in the benefit of Cleveland.
Pitch call comes in. Cleveland comes set with the glove at his belly button. Payoff pitch. Swung on and swung through. Got him with the heater.
Yeah, no need for a death stare of the umpire like Hornberger. Klein swung and missed there. Good pitch from Cleveland. They'll rear back and get out number 2.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Cody Cleveland. Not necessarily known for his velocity, but he delivers a fastball that Klein was not expecting and could not make contact with. And there's 2 away for Nate Kinder.
And both pitchers on the mound who kind of weren't really strikeout pitchers have gotten a lot of strikeouts this inning.
Cleveland seems to have found that outside quadrant of the strike zone as he gets a called strike 1 on the left-hand part of the plate to the right-handed hitter, Nate Kinder. Cleveland delivers. It's a curveball, contact high in the infield. Who will call for it? Bustamante makes the grab for the F6 and out number 3. So aside from the base on balls to Hernandez, it's a relatively quiet evening, or inning, not evening, a quiet inning for the Mustangs as we head to the 5th here in Richardson. Back after this on the Zap Network.
Modern West Windows and Doors is a partner of the Zap Network. They're also partnered with trusted industry leaders like Lowen, Weather Shield, and Simpus to guarantee quality product and installation. Whether you're searching for new concepts for your entryway, living room, dining room, bedroom, or even a workshop, Modern West has the solutions you're looking for. Visit the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth or visit modernwestwindows.com.
Whenever a plumbing problem hits your home, experience matters. Pipe & Peak is a family-owned residential plumbing company with 16 years of experience that you can trust. They handle everything from yard leaks and slab leaks to tunnel work, and they're specialists in replacing old cast iron pipe. No job is too big or too small, and their pricing stays competitive. If you're seeing signs of aging pipes, now's the time to act. Send an email to Caleb Renfro to see how Pipe & Peak can help your home.
Welcome to the fifth inning here at the home of the Pearce Mustangs. Alongside Jot Holly, I'm Zach Arnold, bringing you this by-district series. A reminder, fans, that due to UIL restrictions, playoff broadcasts are limited to audio only. But we appreciate those of you that chose to tune in and support the Colts and support local businesses and local broadcasters in tonight's ball game. It's the top of the order for Arlington here in the top of the fifth. Colin Murphy leading things off. Getting to see this left-handed pitcher, Noah Joseph, for the third time tonight as he fouls that one off into the backstop netting for an 0-1 count. Our friend Yadi Pagan is doing some PA work for Irving MacArthur as they play South Grand Prairie. As that one, an off-speeder, clips the corner for an 0-2 count. Last night's game one between MacArthur and South Grand Prairie went to 13 innings before South finally won 2-1. Tonight, MacArthur has a 3-1 advantage in game number 2 against the Warriors. Murphy will foul that one back into the backstop to keep the count at 0-2 strikes.
Interesting game they got over there between MacArthur and South Grand Prairie. The Warriors' one loss at home this season was to these Arlington Colts, so MacArthur's trying to follow along.
Swing and a miss from Murphy. If you go back to the previous inning, that is 4 strikeouts in a row for Noah Joseph. He struck out Bustamante, Quiros, and Cambron in order. And now there's one away for Gannon Howard here in the top of inning number 5.
And I think this might be the last inning for Joseph. I see Boone, the pitcher from last night, was in the dugout. He's finally walked in the bullpen. He just walked back into the dugout.
It's ball number 1 here to Gannon Howard, as that one goes too far outside for him.
Arlington faithful still here following along with their Colts.
Oh yeah, nobody's gone home yet. The fence crows rather, are all along the first baseline there, as it's a 2-0 count to Gannon Howard after going too far inside. Now that one's too far outside.
I guess technically it could be bench crows because we're next to the dugout.
We're right next to the bench, right next to the fence bench crows. 3-0 to Gannon. And he puts his bat on his shoulder and takes a look at strike 1 down the middle.
Zach, the concession stands here has been full all night. Cam, the cameraman, would be very upset to know that nobody's had a chance to experience a hot dog here. That's his go-to move everywhere he goes.
Speaking of move, Gannon will move down to first base on ball number 4. I heard the PA announcer say that D Magazine rated this as the number 6 concession stand in the state of Texas. So I definitely wish he was here to try those hot links if they have them for sale.
The line has been consistently long over there. I don't know if he would have waited that long, but we would have loved to know his opinion.
That is going to do it for Joseph as Coach Rowland takes the ball from the lefty's hands. And there will be a new pitcher coming down the pipe presented by Pipe & Peak when we come back here on ZAP.
Zach Arnold Productions is proud to service the greater Arlington and DFW area. With experience in broadcasting, podcasting, web series, public address, marketing, and public relations, ZAP can help you tackle any modern communications task. Whether you need an announcer for your sporting event or just need help proofing a press release, be sure to call 817-319-2402 to see how you can find energetic media solutions for your task with Zach Arnold Productions. John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
Pitching changes presented by Pipe and Peak, serving the Arlington area for over a decade. Arrange a free quote by calling 817-807-7069. Now taking the mound for the Pearce Mustangs, junior number 12, Drew Vines. Vines on the mound for the Mustangs.
Yeah, bringing in a righty for the Mustangs after the Colts have faced a lefty throughout the day, Joseph. So we're going to see a lot of different pitchers coming from this righty Vines. The interesting thing to be, since the Colts understand that the outside part of the plate has been something hard to hit, hard to read, to get the calls on. That's what the issue that we saw earlier with Brendan Bouchel on the mound. Will Vines be able to work the outside part of the plate, or for the Colts to be patient enough to see that ball curve away and not chase it going away for a bad type of strike?
The righty pitcher will face the lefty hitter to start his relief appearance in the form of Axel Alvarado. Had a single back in the first inning, but most recently grounded out to second. He'll have a runner aboard in the form of Gannon Howard being covered at first base by Pearce's Hernandez.
Resuming play.
1 on, 1 out here in the top of the fifth. Arlington has this 5th, 6th, and 7th innings to try to chip into the lead. They were able to plate 1 run in the previous frame. Looking for a little more activity now that they have made it to the Pearce bullpen. First pitch to Axel is too far inside for ball 1.
Axel, the lone lefty in this Colt lineup. See if he can try to get it. There's a good gap between first and second, and a lot of room. The right fielder's back towards the wall.
The 1-0 crosses the plate at the knees to bring it to 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 man on, 1 run across for the Colts so far. They're going to check on Gannon, and he is back in time. Some oohs and ahs from the Pearce faithful as they thought that Hernandez had applied the tag in time.
Sound like a mattress firm commercial with the oohs and ahs.
Where's Mattress Mac when you need him? They'll check on him again, and again he is back in time.
You know, actually,
game of inches.
Actually got my commercial wrong, Zach. It's Mattress Giant. Ooh, ah. The old 90s
Oh,
commercial.
yeah, I remember Mattress Giant. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fouled off, and it's 1-2 now for Axel. It actually caroms off of the netting and ends up back in the glove of the catcher, Brody Ross, with it being an all-turf facility. You don't really have to worry about the ball getting dinged up or smudged quite as much. Check again on the first baseman. Not even a courtesy tag applied by Hernandez to the head-first diving Howard. And Axel will dig back into the batter's box to get ready to face Vines' 1-2. The delivery too high. Ross tried to frame it by bringing his glove back down into the strike zone. Blues not having it, and it's 2-2. Howard with about a 3-step lead off of the first base bag. 2-2 is now 3-2 as that one
That's a good
goes between the legs of Ross, but he's able to catch it before it skitters away from him.
That's a great eye by Axel there. If you could try to get on base here with a free pass or just a hit, then you're going to try to make it a little bit shaky up there for the pitch, for the new pitcher.
Payoff pitch. This is a shot to right field, but it is going to be caught by the center fielder, Henkel. Solid contact, but it's an F8, and out number 2.
That sounded beautiful off the back end of the bat, but I think it was too far off the end of the bat to get any type of power behind it.
So that'll take us to A.B. Alvarado. He got a single to left field, and came around to score the Colts' only run.
Third baseman, Abraham Alvarado.
Colts need to make a little bit of a 2-out rally here. First pitch to him is neck high for ball 1. Looked like a high heater that maybe he let go of a little too high there, did Vines. Hernandez continues to cover the first base bag even with 2 outs. And a strike will be called on the outside corner in almost the exact same place that Arlington pitchers have put it all night. But it's 1-1 to AB.
You call that an anomaly?
Sure.
An anomaly.
Sure. Next pitch is too high and outside, and it's 2 balls and a strike to AB.
Yeah, we've seen a rarity of strikes called on the outside part of the plate tonight. Not criticizing, just observing.
Just an observation. The 2-1 pitch from Vines is too far inside, and now AB finds himself with a hitter's count. 3-1 to number 20. Next pitch from Vines. Right down the middle. I think AB was daring him to throw a strike, and he did. And now the count runs full. Gannon Howard will be off and running with a full count and 2 outs here. The payoff pitch is in the dirt, bounces in front of home plate before it makes it to the catcher, and AB will take the free pass as Gannon moves into scoring position.
Good plate appearance there by AB. Worked the full count. Yeah, it kind of got a little sketchy there with that 3-1. You dared the fastball, you got it, you didn't take it, but it worked out in your favor that the pitcher threw a ground ball type of curveball there to get you on to first base with 2 outs.
He drew a total of 12 walks during the season. He's up to 14 with 2 free passes tonight as Kernal takes a look at strike number 1. His on-base percentage coming into the postseason was .365. It's increased a little bit.
He got on base last night with the single.
The 0-1 to Kernal. That's going to skitter away, and they're going to move both base runners. Gannon Howard is moving to third, and AB Alvarado moves to second on the wild pitch.
Ross got up looking to throw. He just realized he had nowhere to throw.
Yeah, he started with a motion to third, and then after the pump fake, realizing he wasn't going to get Gannon, he decided to look towards second instead, and AB was in there safely as well. So now with 2 runners in scoring position,
Jacob Golden.
That's Golden, number 10, coming into pinch run for AB with a 1-1 count and 2 outs for Payne Kernal. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. 2 men in scoring position again for the Colts. Can Kernal deliver against this reliever, Vines? He's looking to poke this one to the gap, but he cannot place it there. Henkel charging in from center field, able to make the grab before it drops into the turf, and the inning is over. Arlington strands 2 more in scoring position as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Pearce still leads it 6-1. Back after this on Zap.
John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
Taquería Taco Express es la taquería oficial de Zach Arnold Productions. Con un amplio y auténtico menú, satisface tus antojos o prepara tu próximo evento con nosotros. Visítanos todos los martes para disfrutar de Taco Tuesday con 5 tacos y un agua fresca por solo $10. Para encontrar sucursales cercanas o hacer pedidos en línea, visita taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Bottom of the 5th inning about to get underway here in Richardson, Texas. Cody Cleveland coming back out. He seems to have righted the ship a little bit since coming in relief, Jot. Unfortunately, back-to-back innings, Arlington has put men in scoring position and haven't been able to give him any run support.
You know, every Pirate ship always did have a good co-captain, and Cleveland shows to be a good co-captain up there. Riding the ship, he's got this team going straight. Now the matter is just the fact that they're leaving runners on base. They have left 7 runners on base tonight. That's as many as they left last night on base in the 4-3 loss. So at some point in time, you got to get those runners in scoring position in to cut into this lead, because Cleveland can only keep this going for so long.
First pitch is a called strike to the leadoff hitter. Bottom of the order in the center fielder, Ty Hinkle. Or is this Dingle? This is
Andrew Dingle.
This is Dingle. My apologies. Dingle and Hinkle sound similar to me phonetically. This one's put in play to right field, almost exactly where Kernal is standing, and he'll make the grab for out number 1. So now it'll be the catcher, Brody Ross, with 1 out.
You know, Zach, one thing that we talked about earlier in the game was the balls hit in the infield. There's only been
good 12-6 curveball there, starting in the upper quadrant of the zone, dropping to the knees, but still getting the called strike 1. Tries to do it again, and that one's too low. It's 1-1.
We were talking about the game last night with balls hitting the infield. The Colts have only fielded 1 ball in the infield. That was a 5-3 put out back in the first inning. Everything else has been singles or sac flies or fly out somewhere in the outfield.
Check swing, doesn't matter. It's a called strike, and it's 1-2. Cleveland ready to deliver as soon as the batters step into the batter's box and play is signaled. And that off speed can't find the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Ross digs back into the righty batter's box. And the righty pitcher delivers a slider that he let go of too late. Only makes it 3/4 of the way to home plate, and the count runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out to Ross. Payoff pitch. He's going to tap that one foul off the end of the bat. It'll go into the netting along the first baseline before making it to the Arlington dugout. So the at-bat stays alive for at least 1 more pitch, as we've got a countdown on the scoreboard. 3, 2, 1. Payoff again on the way. And it's ball 4. Second walk of the evening for Brody Ross, as he's officially 1 for 1 on the evening with a single to left and then back-to-back free passes. Chris Crocker tuning in with a quote from The Sandlot. Yadi Pagan keeping the people in the chat updated on the score between South Grand Prairie and Irving MacArthur. They'll check on the courtesy runner over at first base, who came in for Ross. That's number 1, Quintero. Number 1 on base number 1 with out number 1. This one's up in the air, headed for shallow right field. Who's going to make the call? Kernal will make the grab, waving off the second baseman Murphy. And Henkel is retired for out number 2.
You will take that. Good coordination out there between Murphy and Kernal to look it into the glove, call the other one off, and make sure you know
it's good
who's
communication.
Get out.
Back to the top of the order for the Mustangs. Lincoln Boyles with a line out, a single, and a walk in his last 3 plate appearances. Cleveland takes his time before issuing it. Runner goes. Axel with a dart, but it's too high. And Quintero will get the stolen base.
That's a stolen base for
Great
Zach
play by
Quintero.
Bustamante, though. It was a high throw. He still tried to come down.
He
and get the tag on the
still
jump.
grabbed the high throw and was swooping his glove down to try to tag out Quintero.
It's like a basketball with the like a basketball rebound, getting it at the highest point. He got it. Couldn't get the tag in time, but great try though.
It's an 0-1 count at the plate with Quintero now in scoring position. off speed goes to the right-hand portion of the plate to the lefty hitter. It's outside the zone, and it's 1-1. Quintero taking a shortstop length lead off, equidistant from second base with Bustamante. Cleveland looks at him and delivers a slider inside and low to Boyles. 2-1 the count now with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Arlington with 6 outs to work with to try to cut into this lead. Time is called at the plate as number 16 puts his right foot outside the batter's box and left foot in it as he takes a practice cut. Squares up in the batter's box. Pretty wide stance for the shortstop as Cleveland looks over his right shoulder and comes home. And again, the slider too low. It's below the knees, and it's 3-1.
On the 3-1 here from Cleveland, you just got to focus on Boyles in the batter's box. Don't worry about the runner behind you. It's a 3-1 count. Try to get it back full. The runner's going to take off on that full count either way. Just try to get the strikeout here and get out of this inning. Ground ball, strikeout, anything.
Just got to focus on the man at the plate at this point with 2 outs. The 3-1 pitch is going to get fouled straight back. I think Boyles thought he had a big shot to right field. Didn't quite square it up with his bat. It goes straight back into the backstop, and the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs here. Quintero at second. Colts trying to leave him there. Cleveland gets the pitch call, comes set, a glance over his shoulder twice, and the payoff pitch is too high. That's ball 4. Tried to go with the 12-6 changeup, and it just stayed at 12, never dropped into 6.
Yeah, I didn't worry about 6 o'clock. It wanted to stay at noon when the sun was out and nice and shiny. Worked out for Boyles. Now that's his 3rd walk of the series. Got walked in the 7th inning last night.
Back-to-back free passes for him as we go to Luke Roberts. Roberts most recently flew out to center field as Cleveland drops in, called strike number 1 there.
And Boyles has been a demon on base. He's been on base going back to yesterday, 2 times yesterday, 3 times tonight, 5 times in 8 appearances at the plate.
That's what you want from your leadoff man at the top of the order. Find a way aboard. The 0-1. He's consistently going with that 12-6 changeup. And sometimes it drops in and sometimes it drops too low. That time it's too low, and it's ball 1. Cleveland's next pitch, up in the air to shallow left field. Howard camping underneath it, and he'll make the grab. And that ends the inning. Pearce gets a couple of men aboard but can't bring them home. Cleveland continuing to make things difficult for the Pearce bats. Time for the Arlington bats to wake up as we head to the 6th here in Richardson. Back after this on the Zap Network.
Field Ops North Texas is the trusted name in athletic field marketing for schools, teams, leagues, and tournaments. They even do commercial landscaping. The better question is, what can't they do? With fast turnaround times and proven expertise, they make sure your grounds look unbeatable every time. Call 817-908-2194 to find out more. Looking for a plumber you can rely on? Pipe & Peak handles all your residential plumbing needs. From tunneling and slab leaks to camera inspection and sewer repair, and even cast iron replacement. They offer competitive pricing and now offer financing to make repairs easier to manage. Family owned and trusted for over 16 years, they treat every home like their own. Call 817-807-7069 to get your free quote and get your plumbing handled right.
To the 6th inning we go here in Richardson. Vines is back out for another inning of work for the Mustangs, coming in relief of Noah Joseph. He went 4.1 with 6 hits, 1 run allowed, 4 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Vines will be facing the 6, 7, and 8 spots in the lineup, starting with Noah Cifuentes. Got the game's only RBI with that sharply hit double down the left field line. And he'll take a look at a called strike one here.
Yeah, Joseph, the starting pitcher, he pitched out of a jam multiple times. The Colts had 3 innings where they had a runner at third at least before getting out of the inning. I almost fell backwards.
How do you do that when you're in a stadium chair?
You know, gravity is not a fan of big people, all right? It just doesn't help us.
Noah Cifuentes will foul that one straight back. It's an 0-2 count to him now. Vines sets and delivers, and it goes outside, tailing away. Noah lays off of it for ball 1. It's a good eye by the first baseman, not going after anything that goes to the opposite side of the plate. Vines is 1-2. He checks his swing, and the umpire says he went around. And Noah is letting the umpire know about it, that he's not happy with that decision. But it's 1 away as Vines collects his first strikeout of the evening to take us to Danny Bustamante.
Chase a bad pitch outside the zone there. I know he checked swung, but
he did chase.
He did chase. He still made the motion.
I don't think he crossed the plate. I think he was able to use those elbows to pull back. Didn't even get a chance to make an appeal to first base. 2 quick balls to Bustamante, both of them too high near the chin area for him. Got a double to left field in his first plate appearance, most recently struck out. And he's quickly ahead in the count here, 3-0. If he can find a way aboard, Quiros is taking some cuts in the on-deck circle. Vines toes the pitching rubber on the right-hand side of the pitcher's mound and delivers the 3-0 right down the pipe and peak for called strike number 1. The 3-1. Inside, that's ball 4 to Busta. So he'll draw the free pass, and it's 1 on with 1 out for Corbin Quiros. 0 for 2 on the evening.
Now batting, designated hitter.
And was 0 for 1 with a bases loaded walk RBI in last night's game number 1.
He was also hit by a pitch as well last night.
He was. Does not get hit on the first pitch here, though, but it is high and tight for ball 1. Chopper to second. This could be trouble. Only play is to first as the 4-3 putout makes it 2 away. It looked like if Kinder was able to grab it, he might try to throw it to Boyles, but he went with the safe bet and collected out number 2 on the 4-3.
Zach pinch hitter for Cambrian is going to be Dominic Trillo, number 21.
Trillo also plays in the outfield for Arlington. He may come in as a substitute defensively. But Trillo now takes a look at ball 1. This one's low, and the base runner is off for third. It goes between the legs of Brody Ross, between the legs of the umpire. And Arlington has a runner at third base again. 2-0 to Trillo as Bustamante moves another 90 feet. That's a balk from Vines, and that's the most unconventional way that a run will come in to score. But Bustamante will get the run across on the balk to make it 6-2.
Hey, you don't question it sometimes. You just let it happen. That works out in the favor of the Colts. You get that run coming across and cutting to the lead a little bit.
It's 2 balls and a strike now as the bases are clear, and Trillo takes a look at a called strike there. That one just a bit too low for the umpire. And Trillo's got a hitter's count of 3-1. Vines comes set and delivers the 3-1. Called strike, and Trillo will have to grab his bat as he had already tossed it towards the on-deck circle. And he'll have to come back for a payoff pitch.
We saw a lot of that last night, too, with the batters that will walk from Pearce. They tossed the bat on ball 3. They're going to get the call, and it just didn't work out in their favor, have to come back for a full count.
Payoff pitch, swung on and swung through, and Trillo is retired. Vines collects his second K. Busta was able to walk, make it to second, advance to third, and came in on a balk. And it is 6-2 now, but we only have one more inning of bats left to go in the season. We're headed to the bottom of the 6th. Your new score, Pearce 6, Arlington 2. Back after this on the Zap Network.
John Wade Roofing has been serving the Arlington area since 1982, but the Wade legacy runs much deeper in the city of Arlington. A pioneer family that has had roots going back decades, John Wade and Company saw relatives attend the Cooper Street Arlington High campus and has had members play in Colt athletics for decades, and they're looking forward to serving this community for decades to come. Find out more at johnwaderoofing.com.
Las albercas en Texas necesitan servicios durante todo el año. Romy Pools brinda servicios de calidad, incluyendo limpieza, mantenimiento y reparaciones. Llama al número 469-951-0107 para una consulta gratuita y pregunta por Roberto. Romy Pools, haremos que te enamores de tu alberca de nuevo.
I was correct in my assumption in the form of Dominic Trillo taking over in left field defensively after pinch hitting for Cameron. The rest of the defensive alignment staying the same for Arlington, including Cody Cleveland back out for another inning of work here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The new score 6-2 in favor of the home team as we have a very light but steady drizzle starting to come down here in Richardson. See some droplets in the stadium lights to my right. And this is why I pitched the tent, Jot, because I did not want to risk getting any of this equipment wet.
I always thought it was just because you wanted the camping experience out here.
We camped for over 3 hours up in the press box last night. A very, very long broadcast as strike one gets issued to Deuce Hernandez to start this bottom of the 6th. It was a 3.5-hour broadcast as this one is in a shot to center field, and it's past Gannon Howard. They'll make a throw to second base that is not in time as Deuce Hernandez slides in head first for a leadoff double to center field.
That was a great throw from Gannon Howard, though. He had a chance to get it. Whoever came over to cover second, I don't know if that was Bustamante or not, just didn't turn in time. But Gannon made a throw. He could have.
Gannon had a really, really strong, solid throw that made it a lot closer than it should have been. But it's still a leadoff double for the first baseman. That'll take us to the cleanup hitter, Nash Hornberger. Caught looking his last time up. Also a fly out to center. And a bunt attempt here that's going to go up the third baseline and go foul. Arlington wisely letting it continue to roll in its natural direction. It started clean up the third baseline, but just had this arc that continued to allow it to hook to the left.
Yeah, it hooked like a golf ball when you trying to putt up a hill. The way that ball rolled straight back towards the foul line.
So it'll be an 0-1 count to Hornberger. Trying to move that runner in scoring position another 90 feet here. Not that they necessarily need an insurance run, but you also won't look it in the mouth. Cleveland's 0-1 is swung on and missed. It's 0-2. I may be wrong, Job, but I think that is the first base hit given up by Cleveland since he came in relief. It's an 0-2 count as Cleveland comes set. just a bit outside. Decent placement on the slider, but he put it in that outside quadrant where nobody has really been getting the calls all evening.
You, sir, would be correct. That is the first hit surrendered by Cleveland. He's given up 3 walks, and he has 2 strikeouts.
Foul is going to be called as that violently goes off of the ankle
And you can add an injured player possibly to that list.
of the third baseman. He's going to have to take a couple of moments to shake that one off. That injury wasn't necessarily issued by Cleveland, though. It just got awkwardly swung on. Coach Rowland coming out to take a look at his third baseman. Is satisfied with Hornberger's toughness and will go back up the baseline. It's 1-2 to number 13. Leadoff man in scoring position. Cleveland gets the pitch call, comes set. A look at second, and he'll throw to second. And Hernandez will have to dive back head first. Bustamante covering, applied a courtesy tag, but Hernandez was back in time. Another 1-2 on the way now. Head high as Cleveland, I believe that was a heater.
A little sweet chin music right there.
Hornberger ducks away, and the count evens at 2-2. Axel delivers the sign. Cleveland comes set, and the 2-2 is too low. Overcompensating there with the high heater on the last pitch, and now a low off speeder. And the count is full to Nash Hornberger. Three balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Cleveland's payoff pitch. It's in the air. It's headed for left field, and it is going to be off of the wall, I believe.
No, he caught that.
Did he catch that?
Yeah, he caught that going backwards. Then he almost fell into the wall in the process.
Wow. Dominic Trillo comes in relief and immediately makes an impact as he collects the out along the left field fence.
That was a great play. He tracked it all the way, too. It looked like it was going to carry him off the fence. But Trillo got all the way up to the wall, caught it, and then fell back into the wall after he brought it in. I'm surprised the runner didn't tag up from second. The ball, as deep as that ball was hit.
Klein digging in now, 1 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. 1 on and 1 out as he takes a look at ball number 1. Hernandez still standing at second base after the leadoff double. Cleveland looks over his shoulder at him and comes home. Slider just below the knees at the shins of the designated hitter for ball 2. Left-handed hitting Klein digs back into the batter's box as Cleveland sends it home. Too high. Axel tries to frame it, won't get the call. And it's ball 3 now.
As we were both puzzled by the internet sound.
The 3-0 is ball 4. High and away. Cleveland lost him there. Lost control a little bit. Looked like his placement was off on all 4 of those pitches as Klein draws the free pass. The rain continues to drizzle here in Richardson.
I have yet to notice.
So we can actually feel the rain on our skin.
Zach, I think it's just raining on your side there, buddy. On this side, it's nice and clean.
Jot, take a look. There's droplets on that stadium light right there.
Oh, man. I'm looking straight up. Oh, there it is. Oh, I just got wet. Something hit me.
Yeah,
bad.
see, you stick your head out of the tent that I graciously provide for you,
Well,
and that's what you get.
I stuck my head out the tent, and I guess I bopped into the tent. Some water came dripping
And
on
it shook down, see?
There you
And
go.
that's why I have it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
2 on with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch is low and away for Nate Kinder.
This game's not out of reach. You only have 3 outs left to play with in the top of the 7th, but you have the top of your lineup coming up. You just need to get it out of this inning here without another run coming across the score.
Check swing. That's going to be a strike either way. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 2 men on here for the Mustangs. Cleveland looks over his right shoulder, comes home, and Axel feigns in the direction of first base and will deliver it back to Cleveland. It's 2 balls and a strike, as that slider can't find the lower quadrant of the strike zone. Kinder 2 for 3 on the evening with a double and a single. Trying for the home run there, but he can't connect, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Good pitch there by Cleveland on the 2-1. Get something over the zone. Make Kinder chase.
Hernandez, the runner at second. Klein, the runner at first. I think he had a pinch runner come in, though. I may have missed it. The 2-2. That's lofted to left field. Trillo giving chase, and he'll have to watch it bounce off of the wall. Here comes Hernandez. Rounding third, he will score, and Pearce gets the run right back. 7-2, as Kinder goes 3 for 4 on the evening with that RBI single off of the left field wall. Coach Womack is coming out, and with 1 out, that may be it for Cody Cleveland. A short leash as he gets a hug from his coach. The senior's final outing, most likely, as he says his goodbyes to the infield. A round of applause from the parents who know. Swan song for Cleveland as we get another pitching change here in Richardson. We'll let you know who the new pitcher who came down the pipe from Pipe and Peak will be right after this.
Pools in Texas need servicing all year long. At Romy Pools, LLC, we provide quality pool services such as cleaning, maintenance, and repairs. So call 469-951-0107 for a free estimate and ask for Roberto. Romy Pools, LLC. We're going to make you fall in love with your pool again. Hablamos español.
Local Legends Figures immortalizes your athlete's achievements for a lifetime. Featuring 6-inch figures with poses in football, baseball, band, hockey, even lacrosse. Local Legends makes every effort to show their likeness down to every possible uniform detail. To order your custom figure, call 817-681-0319 or email orders at locallegendsfigures.com.
New pitcher coming down the pipe for Arlington after Cody Cleveland gave up an RBI single to left to make it 7-2. Pitching changes are presented by Pipe and Peak. Serving the Arlington area for over a decade, you can arrange a free quote by calling 817-807-7069. Taking the mound for Arlington is the junior number 7, Caleb Steele. Steele now on the mound for the Colts. Don't believe I've called his name since tournament play, but he did come in a very tense and tight situation against Tolosa Midway and collected a big strikeout to end the inning. He's a placement pitcher. We'll see if he can place a few pitches here to collect a couple of outs and send Arlington to the 7th inning. The right fielder, Dingle, is 0 for 3 on the evening with a strikeout, a sacrifice bunt, and a flyout. We would take pretty much any one of those in this situation with men on first and second with one out. The southpaw delivers ball one low.
Just a note here, Zach, the senior Cody Cleveland shouldn't have nothing to be sad about. Went 3 2/3, gave it 1 run, 2 hits, both came in this inning.
I mean, you can't ask for much more than that.
He saved the game enough to keep the Colts in this type of scoring position.
AB bobbles the ball, and his throw to first is late. Everybody is safe as the usually sure-handed hot corner issues an E5.
E5 loads the bases. AB was very quick. He wanted to turn the double play. He had it there, too. By the time that ball ate him up, he just wasn't able to get his hands on it. E5, first error of the night for the Colts, and that comes at a bad moment because still it gave you a double play ball to get out of the inning.
I wonder if there's just a little bit of slickness on the ball when it travels down the turf like that, as ball one is issued to the catcher, Brody Ross. Base is loaded now for Pearce. Steele turns and delivers. That one's up in the air and will go foul as Cifuentes only takes a few steps to his left to watch it go out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike here. 1 out. Base is loaded. Steele turns and delivers. This is a double play ball, and Busta will take the out at home. The throw to first is in time. How many times do you see a 6-2-3 double play? You just saw one right there. And the inning is over with just 1 run allowed. Arlington has 3 outs to get 5 runs when we come back for the top of the 7th here on ZAP.
Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to hear Zach talk about things beyond the realm of sports, catch him with me, Ben Hart, on the Intergalactic Peace Coalition podcast. For nearly a decade, we've been geeking out on IPC about our favorite nerdy things. We have a back catalog of over 350 episodes diving into sci-fi and fantasy stories like no one else. Find the Intergalactic Peace Coalition at ipcpodcast.podbean.com or download via your favorite podcast app.
Looking for the most unique gift for your student or athlete? Local Legends Figures has you covered. The custom 6-inch figures are designed with you and your legend in mind. They even immortalize yours truly with a custom, never-before-used model to create a Zach the Voice figure for my 30th birthday. Huge thanks to our friends at Local Legends Figures. See pricing and place orders at locallegendsfigures.com.
Hey, this is John Wade Jr., Colt Football 97, class of 98. And the next time you have a roofing issue, be sure and call Arlington's favorite roofer, John Wade Roofing. Look us up on the internet at johnwaderoofing.com.
To the top of the 7th inning we go, and fans, we want to remind you to stay tuned for the post-game show presented by our friends at John Wade Roofing. Arlington has 3 outs to collect 5 runs and try to preserve their season. But with the way that the strike zones have been going and the way that the runners have been left in scoring position, there's a decent chance that we may be down to our final 3 outs. But we encourage you to stay tuned for the post-game show, and we will make special recognition of this senior class that gave their all for Arlington High this season and pushed them to the playoffs.
Back to the top of the lineup again for the Colts.
Top of the lineup in Colin Murphy. The Colts have made the playoffs every single season that Coach Brian Womack has been at the helm, aside for the COVID year where everything got shut down before you even made it to district play. Murphy takes a look at ball number 1. The epitome of consistency for this Colt baseball squad. And strike 1 gets issued by Drew Vines here. It's a ball and a strike to the leadoff man. Murphy 0 for 3 on the evening, trying to find a way aboard. Offers at it. It goes underneath his swing, and it's 1-2.
Just doing a little math tallying for the John Wade post-game show, sir.
Working behind the scenes and in front of them. As the 1-2, there's a charge to right center field. but it looks like the right fielder is underneath it, and Dingle will collect the F9 for out number 1. So now the senior Gannon Howard coming in behind the senior Colin Murphy. A lot of seniors on this roster and in this lineup. A total of 14 seniors as Howard will foul this one straight back for strike 1.
It was coming right in my direction, too.
And you weren't looking.
If it would have broke through the net. They had that happen once at Arlington with me and Tim Costello, South Grand Prairie last year. Broke through the net, came right towards us.
0-1 to Gannon. Next pitch is high and tight, and he has to duck away from it to take a look at ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out to the center fielder. Next pitch. Going to put this into play to left field, and the catch is made by Roberts. And Arlington is down to their final out of the season. And nobody better than the player with the best batting average and best on-base percentage and the stalwart defender behind the plate, Axel Alvarado, representing Arlington's potential final out. Trying to keep the season alive for at least one more at-bat as he takes a look at ball number 1. Strike 1 issued here. 1-1 to Axel as Vines quickly comes set on the mound and delivers the next pitch. Just a bit outside for ball 2. Two balls and a strike now as Vines, this one's in play, headed for left field. The third baseman going into foul territory, and that will do it. Hornberger will get the excuse me swing from Axel, and that will do it here in Richardson as Pearce takes it from Arlington by a final score of 7-2. They are by district champions, and Arlington's season finishes with a 15-17 overall record. That'll take us to the postgame show presented by John Wade Roofing for the final time in spring of 2026. John Sr. played for Arlington High and was their team MVP in '76. He also played for TCU and UTA football, earning all conference and conference champion honors. After a stint with the Houston Oilers, he started roofing in 1982 and never looked back. His legacy on the gridiron is now matched by the legacy the company has built in the community for over 40 years. The next time you have roofing needs, gutters, painting, solar, or more, call the family that does more at 817-265-5520. Zach Arnold and Jot Holly bringing you the conclusion of our broadcast slate this season. The Bowie Volunteers finished up the regular season just missing the playoffs by a game or two. Arlington able to finish second place in the district with a 10-4 record and played very, very hard in both of these games. But the story of this series was an unfortunate late error in game number 1 that Arlington could not overcome, and then runners left on base in scoring position, the story of game number 2. If you bring in just a few of those young men, then it's a completely different outcome here tonight.
Yeah, we have a combined 15 runners left on base in 2 games. That's not a winning recipe. We talked in the pregame show, Zach, things that Arlington needed to do to get a win. They needed to get hits. They needed to get more than 3 hits. They did. They doubled that tonight. They got 6.
They did.
So they did a good job there. They needed to get more guys on base. They did that tonight. They had as many hits last night as they had men left on base last night, as they had last night. So there's benefit there. But you had so many people left on third. Going back to the first inning with the bases loaded.
Yep.
You had a double play. A great play. It was a great play in center field by Hinkle, the center fielder. But Frias, the runner on second's got to keep his head up there.
Yep.
And instead he got tagged up. And then going back to the second inning, Bustamante gets to third. and nobody's able to bring them in. The harder one to kind of swallow, after Cifuentes gets the RBI single in the 4th inning, you had 2 runners on, you had no outs. The pitcher on the mound was kind of shaking Joseph with 2 runners on. Strikeout, strikeout, strikeout to end that 4th inning threat when you had 2 runners in scoring position after a big single by Cifuentes. So just leaving guys on third base, 8 runners total, that's not a winning recipe.
Yep, unfortunately not. And it is evidenced on the scoreboard. You know, Pearce only had a couple of extra base hits. I think only 2 doubles on the entire evening. Everything else was RBI single, RBI single, RBI single. But they were able to get to Brendan Buechele, and that 5-run second inning completely changed the course of the ball game. If you don't have that 5-run second inning, we're looking at a 2-2 score right now instead of 7-2. So crazy how 1 half inning can change the entire outcourse of a game and a season.
And it's not like Brendan Buechele did anything wrong in that second inning.
No.
He got to the point with 2 outs that they weren't able just to get that final out at some point in time. It was just a rotating single over the head of Bustamante and Alvarado into left center field.
Yeah.
The problem was, though, is that they weren't getting the calls on the outside part of the plate, and you can't make the excuse because you're pitching towards the umpire at that point.
Right.
We wanted to avoid that from last night's game that we saw. Pitching to the umpire doesn't work to you.
Right.
But somewhere in that inning in that game, we just couldn't make the adjustment of we can't get outside. If we come inside, it's in the wheelhouse. We can't work high or low. He was getting strikeouts high. Cleveland later on in the game was getting those strikeouts high and low. But that outside part of the plate, it just seemed like there's a brick wall there in the mind of the ball and strike calls that it kind of killed any momentum Buechele had, because Buechele had 2 strikeouts in that inning.
Yep.
And he had a walk that could have been a called for a ball 4 strike, a ball 3 strike, but he just wasn't able to get the calls.
Yep. It's an unfortunate end to the season, and it's never fun to have to say goodbye at the end of a season. For us at Zap, we've covered this team literally every game except for maybe one that was a Saturday morning that we just couldn't make it to. We've been here since day one, traveled with them to Corpus Christi, made a lot of memories and had a lot of really cool moments and great highlights that, history was made with Danny Bustamante collecting his 2nd perfect game in as many years. He's off to Grayson College now. Hoping to continue that hot streak. Payne Kernal is headed to Eastfield College. Players like AB and Axel did enough to get the attention of places at the next level. Gannon Howard decommitted from a community college because he was getting attention from other schools. So it'll be exciting to see what this senior class is able to do at the next level. For some of them, this is it. For some players like Michael Luna, who didn't see a whole lot of time on the field, he's about to graduate and go and enlist in the Marine Corps in just a few weeks' time. So there's a very bright future for this entire senior class, whether it's going to college as a student, whether it's going to college as a student athlete, or headed to the armed services. This is a group of 14 seniors that deserve a lot of respect and honor as they continue Coach Womack's success of taking this Arlington Colts baseball team to the postseason.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because my first few games, a lot of these guys that were on the team, they were sophomores and some of them were juniors.
Yeah.
Some of them, like Bustamante, I've seen for 3 seasons now.
Since he was a freshman.
Yeah. So see the Alvarados both play, seeing them grow through 2 seasons. It seems a lot. So it seems like watching your younger kids grow up.
Mm-hmm.
But these kids, they all deserve it. They could take it all in, hug each other. And not every kid makes it to major leagues, and it's only 1% of every sport that does. There are plenty of people that do righteous great things once they leave the baseball field or they leave the football field or the basketball court, and that's a benefit. But you still get to take this moment in, say, hey man, we made the playoffs. We made the playoffs last year. We've been district champions, co-district champions, and you take all that in. Because those are things you never forget. Those are your teammates. Those are the pitchers that will always sit in Arlington High. For 100 years, Arlington High has been around. Those pitchers will stay in the building as Arlington celebrates its 150th year. You will be part of that. A part of that Arlington team that's made the playoffs every year that Womack's been here and made won district championships. So take it all in while you can. It sucks to lose at home, like you did yesterday, and the way that we lost. It's harder to lose on the road. but you still get a chance to be with your team for a few more days before you graduate and go on your own separate ways and enter the real world.
Special recognition to those seniors individually. Number 2, Gannon Howard. Number 3, Simon Hercules. Number 4, Danny Bustamante. Number 5, Axel Alvarado. Number 6, Colin Murphy. Number 14, Joel Gomez. Number 15, Cody Cleveland. Number 17, Payne Kernal. Number 20, Abraham A.B. Alvarado. Number 21, Dominic Trillo. Number 24, Corbin Quiroz. Number 25, Julian Valdovinos. Number 26, Noah Cifuentes. And number 27, Michael Luna. Thank you to the class of 2026. And thank you also to our wonderful patrons that helped make this broadcast season what it was. John Wade Roofing, Field Ops, Pipe and Peak, Taqueria Taco Express, Chapman Cornelius, Romy Pools, Trinity Logistics, Modern West, the PDA Advocacy Group, the IPC Podcast. We had some really, really wonderful partners that helped us out over the course of this season. We could not do it without them because the only way that we keep these broadcasts free is by paid commercial breaks. We don't want to have the tiered structure. We don't want to have the paywall structure. We want to provide opportunities to showcase these athletes in as creative and functional a way as we possibly can while abiding by UIL restrictions. And I think we put on a really good show this season, John, and it's thanks to sponsors and thanks to people like you for being bought in on the vision and coming along for the ride.
It's thanks to people like that, the interns we've gotten from TCC, thanks to a lot of connections that we have from Daryl and Chad at TCC with the internship program.
And Lance over at UTA.
And Lance over at UTA, who we both had at one point in time. So we getting the interns from TCC and UTA. Thanks to those three, we had Chaz, we had Cameron. For football, we had Daniel Castagna. We had John Ethan for baseball. We've had a lot of good players, a lot of good team players.
Team players, contributors.
Contributors. We had a lot of people come in to learn things that they want to do because we don't get the chance at UTA with no football team.
Yep.
And at TCC, there's no sports, so it's a good opportunity for them to come in and learn. And they bought in on it, and the administrators of the schools bought in on it. So people supporting this, and football's right around the corner. We'll take the summer off and not think about it for 3 months, but it's right around the corner, and it's a good way to give back. I was an Arlington High student. We didn't have this when I was a student.
Mm-hmm.
That was also 15 years ago, so I'm outdating myself. But, so it's been a fun ride, and obviously we have your parents. They've been very helpful for everything. So your wife, she's very supportive. My wife's very supportive.
Yeah,
she's probably asleep by now. But
we wouldn't be able to do this without our wives saying that it was okay.
Yes. So it's been a lot more people than just me. I just come in, I just keep the cog rolling and not getting stuck in the machine somewhere.
Well, it takes a village. And my parents are a part of that village. You're a part of that village. Our interns are a part of that village. And this village gets to take a summer break now. My wife and I are going to do a little bit of traveling over the course of the summer. And then by about July or so, we're going to hit the ground running and try to get ready for that late August debut of the new district. Colts are moving to 3-6A starting at the beginning of the next school year. And they'll be playing the likes of Aledo and Granbury and Weatherford. And so there will be some new challenges and some new dynamics to face here on the Zap Network, but we're looking forward to facing all of those head-on just as we have done in the past. But I think that is going to officially do it for us here tonight at Richardson Pearce High School. I want to say we have done over 300 broadcasts since we first started doing this crazy thing back in 2019. This is going to be our 41, 45, 46, 47th baseball game that we've done this season. And I want to say, I did a counter around here somewhere. Broadcast 330 was the game at Mansfield. So if we take a look at 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, this is Zap's 336th broadcast since we started. And we're not going anywhere.
Yeah, now that you have access to video, thanks to little maneuvering that we got the chance to do, and then some signing off and people allowing us to do it, we have access to video, so things have grown, as you saw for the district championship between Bowie and South Grand Prairie.
Yep.
We went against the CW, and we had 3,000, almost 4,000 fans watching that game.
Mm-hmm.
We had almost 500 last night listening just to audio calls.
Mm-hmm.
So we've had a lot of people grow, and we're close to 1,000. We're within the 40 range.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't get it by the fall, we'll be there right there when fall starts.
We will.
So by the time we get ready for non-district play, no matter if we're in Prosper or if we're in Northwest ISD, one of us will get there, and the other one will be ready for it. It will be 1,000 before you know it.
Final score again in this one, Richardson Pearce 7, Arlington High 2. Thank you to everyone that tuned in tonight and tuned in all season long. By supporting student athletes, you're also supporting local business and local broadcasters by being a part of the ZAP network. Thanks to loyal listeners like Donna Nipper and Chris Crocker and my friend Yadi Pagan, all very active in the chat tonight. We appreciate you supporting us, and we look forward to fall in the football season. But that is it here at J.J. Pearce High School. For all of us at the Zach Arnold Productions Network, I am Zach Arnold signing off. Hope you all have a great night, a great weekend, a great summer, and we'll see you all again real soon.